Hello and welcome to Footy Judge Mo, people. It's the international break and there is nothing to talk about. So we got you, Thomas Partey himself, to talk about Arsenal here, of course. Thomas Partey himself to talk about Arsenal and to analyze their season and to see if they're going to finally get over the line. Of course, I'm here with a fantastic one. I thought what's better than actually gaslighting Arsenal fans, right? So I
Oh
just
my God.
brought the panel here and I
Right,
just wanted to gaslight Arsenal fans. You know what I mean? Tell them you're gonna win the Champions League, you're gonna win the Premier League. Even though finally yesterday I actually did my predictions, and at the end Liverpool came out the winners of the Premier League yesterday.
All
Actually,
that.
at the end. So hello everybody and welcome to Footy Judge Mo. You know what? Hit that like button for this fantastic panel. If you're watching this in the replay, of course, like the video before you go on because we're in for a great show for you. We might rate the Arsenal players of the season. We might rate them. But first, we just want to talk about how the season started. What's the plan for the rest of the season? Where do these guys see the next Arsenal games? And I wanted to ask a lot of questions because yesterday I actually did a show by myself analyzing every fixture for the top three teams. And every time I said that Arsenal will drop point and Martin was there, they were like, no, we aren't. As Arsenal
No,
will
no,
win
no, no, no.
every single game, right?
No,
Apart from
you
the
said
City
with
game.
Wolves. I don't know. It was the teams you said we were dropping points to. I was like, we can't be dropping points to those
And
guys.
we'll talk about it because
Luton.
I think now some Arsenal fans, Martin, think that they're going to win every game. So if Arsenal going to win every game, Liverpool are going to win every game, Man City are going to win every game, someone has to drop points in the middle. You know what I mean? Right? So, but anyway, listen. We're here. We'll talk about North side is here. The football corner side is here. Giuseppe Sicilian Gunnar is here. And Nelly with a debut on the channel, of course. And first, we got to welcome Nelly.
Nemi. It's with an M. And
Nemi.
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 Yeah, the million.
Nemi. What's the other, the rest of the name?
The million. The million.
Nemilian. So,
Yeah.
because of
Oh,
Nelly.
that's
Nemi
cold.
Lion,
Hey,
whatever.
that's quite the
That's
million.
cold.
The million is cold, bro. The million's
We'll call
cold.
him Party,
Appreciate
though.
it.
We'll
Appreciate
call
it.
him Party, though. How are you doing, man?
I'm good. Well, I'm doing well. Happy to be here. I'm actually unwell. I've been struggling with the flu all week. But hey, when Mo asked me to come on here, I could not say no. So I couldn't say wait. I had to say yes. So excited to meet you guys and excited to get this going.
Yeah, big up everybody that joined us, of course. And I wanted to start with what's a simple question. Do you guys genuinely think that Arsenal now are strongest team in the league? Well, someone just take the question though.
I think, if you're talking on current form, what we've been watching, yes. Are we though? No. There's differences. This is what I think some of the fan base forget. They forget that we're on a nice run, we're doing well. That automatically now makes us the best team in the league. It doesn't. It just means we're the team in form right now. Any other team can turn it on at any time. I don't think we're favourites to win the league. I still don't think we will win the league. But right now, how we've been playing, it speaks for itself. We're unbeaten this year in the Premier League. So you have to say right now, we are the best team in current form.
You're unbeaten in the league
This year.
2024.
Yeah, this year.
Like when is it? When does it stop? Is it next month? Like if you get beat, it's like we're unbeaten this month. Is it we're unbeaten this week?
No, I'm just saying since
we've how we do seasons now. We're unbeaten this season. We're unbeaten this year. We're unbeaten this week. By the way,
no, don't do that though. But I'm just saying that the last however many games we're unbeaten. We've won every game. So therefore, you got to say that's enough of amount of games to say we're currently the best performing team in the league at this current moment.
I hear you for sure. I hear you. But so on form now, you guys go into the last 10 games. You have the Man City game. And yesterday, when I said the Arsenal aren't favorites to get a point in this game, people just didn't like it in the chat. Is anybody? And by the way, it's not trolling. I'm not trying to troll anybody. I'm genuinely just saying, you go into the Etihad, right? You aren't favorites. Yes, you are in the team in form. Man City haven't lost a game.
Facts. I agree 100%. Because
why are Arsenal fans upset though?
That's certain Arsenal fans, but like for me personally, I've said second.
Certain, what do you mean? Certain Arsenal fans, like just certain Arsenal fans, just like
I didn't
Listen,
say
I've
anything,
said
Mo.
certain Arsenal fans.
You're throwing me under the
I've
bus.
always said,
Yeah.
tail end of the season, Man City don't lose at home. They don't even drop points at home. Tail end of the season. So to think that we're favourites to even get a draw in the game, I don't think is like. I think that's just people hoping more than looking at evidence and stuff. I don't think we're favourites at all. We barely win there. We barely get anything from there. And they're going to know how big the game is. They're going to know if they lose that game or drop points in that game, they're pretty much out of the title race. If they lose that game, they're pretty much out of the title race. Because if it ain't us, it'll be Liverpool that go on.
What if Arsenal lose that game? Are you guys out of the title race?
Yes, yes.
Why? Though
I just believe that.
Bro, this is so strange, bro. You're
Bro,
putting
it's
some
a
pressure on
must
Arsenal
win.
and saying it's a must win.
Yes,
You're going
it
to the
is.
Etihad.
Mo, I explained it to you last time.
You said
I explained
lose
it
though.
last-
If we
And
draw,
when you're
Do you
saying
want
I'm
me to- do you want me
stupid,
to- do you want me
is
to- no,
that
no.
what you're saying? I'm stupid.
There you are. Wallahi,
Is that how this conversation is going? You're saying I'm stupid. You're literally just. Did you just say I'm stupid? You're coming on my channel. You're
انا صايم
disrespecting me.
والله لا رحم لك الوالدين انا صايم والله
You're disrespecting me on my channel, bro.
Okay, so the
Hey.
reasoning for why I think it's a must win, yeah. The reasoning for why I think it's a must win is because, bro, we have to go there. We have to go there and win.
And
in
win,
order
like
to-
not
in order
even
to
a draw.
solidify- No, because a draw still gives hope to the other teams. A win, it takes one of the teams out. Okay, a team takes City out. Let's cut the ball. A team takes City out. I think if they lose that game, City are out of the title race. I
Okay,
genuinely believe that.
Can I ask?
They're way too far to catch up.
Let me ask
with
actually
the amount
those
of
for this
games.
question. Okay,
Go ahead.
It's very simple. What do you think the percentage of genuinely, if you remove your Arsenal hat, no side, what do you think the percentage of you winning at the Etihad?
A percentage? I don't know. I don't think about it in percentage. It's
Okay,
just where they win, innit?
I don't want you to say we must or we don't must. I want you to tell me if you are someone who's advising your nephew or your cousin. I don't bet. If you're advising them to bet, right? What's the percentage of Arsenal winning, going to the Etihad and actually taking the 3 points and leave? I want everybody in the chat to let me know, because am I deluded or something? It doesn't exceed 20%. Am I wrong?
Okay, let me. I
want just hold on, Nemi. No, sir. Do you get my question? It's like I know I'm not asking if you must or you must not. What's the percentage of you actually going to the Etihad, taking the 3 points and leaving?
I don't know. I'm not the bookies. I don't know what the percentage is. All I know is that we need to go there and win. That's it. You're trying to ask me what I think about the game in a percentage. I don't look at it like that. I just look at it that we need to go there.
Do you think you're favorites then to win
No,
that
we're
game?
not favorites. We're not favorites.
You are favorites to win that game.
No, we're still going up against the
arguably the best team in the arguably, yes.
I don't think
it's the best team in Europe. So how can you be favorites?
Okay.
What we can be.
Now we're talking.
What we are is in form at the moment,
All
and
right.
we have a chance, and we have seen that we've been able to beat Man City. Let's be fair, yeah. We have beaten Man City before. We know how we need to beat them. The deflection goal from Martinelli, we know that we need to be resolute. We know that we need to pick our chances. We're not going to be just blitzing them. So we know how we can get over the line. Now we just got to go there and do it. We have beaten them before, so the players should have belief. The managers should have belief that we can do it. But at the same time, will the occasion get to Arsenal? Because we are yet to see if this club, if the mentality's dropped. And what I mean is that if the mentality's changed, that we can get over the line. Last season, we're flying. Last season, we're 93% top of the league. Everything was fine until the pressure really started mounting. And this club for 20 years has not dealt well with pressure. When it's time, you have to deliver. We've not dealt with it. So when people say about mentality change, the mentality only changes for me when I see us getting ourselves over the line. We've been in title races before. We came second the year that Leicester won the league. We've done all of this before. Now, when it comes to the crunch, I want to see if we actually have changed. And that will be the difference. Not because we're sustaining a couple of runs and things like that. We've always done that. But can we get over the line? I think this game, the reason why I think some people have said, if we lose this game, we're out of the title race. I think it's mentality. It's mentality, because you still got enough points to to still win the league, but will their heads drop? Will it be, oh, okay, everything's over? Will we see what we saw last season when we went up against Nottingham Forest and we only lost by 1-0? That was a game that was a reflection on mentality, not quality. When you're talking about quality, we're better than Nottingham Forest, player for player.
Yeah.
So this is the thing with Arsenal. It's not about the ability anymore. It's about the mentality of this team, this manager, and the players. You know, and the last thing I'll say, because I know I'm going on a bit on a rant, against Porto, the players were looking at the manager as to what do we do? And he couldn't bail them out. Let's keep it real. We took it to penalties. This is when Mikel Arteta makes his money. When if the game ain't going the way that we need it to go, what is the plan B? What do we change? What do we do to get over the line? This is now where you become from a good manager to an elite manager. Mourinho at Porto, you know what I mean? Conte when he won the league with Chelsea. You know what I'm saying? Klopp at Liverpool. There's a time where it's no longer about the players, bro. The manager needs to now get you over the line as well. And that is a major question about this manager. Because when things go sideways, he looks very lost. He looked very lost against Porto in both legs. We didn't go through. We drew.
But at the end, by the way, at the end in the penalties, for example, you showed more resolution than Inter, for example. You guys were more calm. You guys were more composed. Our Inter players, they bottled it. An experienced player, they bottled it. The occasion got to them, right? For Inter, the occasion got to them. The occasion didn't get to Arsenal. 60,000 in the Emirates, right? Screaming and yelling and shouting and scared and everybody shitting their pants. The players delivered some of the best penalties I've seen. So that by itself,
the way of winning football, though.
Yeah, but hold on. Yes. But at the end, it's a learning curve in the Champions League, especially in the Champions League, right?
Okay.
This is it.
Okay.
And I believe that at the end, it's the coach and the coaching staff. It's a way to prepare players to. How many players we have seen miss penalties because they were scared? Saka missed the penalties in the World Cup because he was scared. Too much pressure on him. Marcus Rashford did, if I'm not mistaken. A lot of players did. A lot of players at Inter did miss, right? A lot of players missed. My thing about it is that I will say that Arteta is proving the team right. The game against Brentford, by the way, it took a lot of nerves, bro. It took a lot of courage to win that game, to be honest, because Brentford were on it. And with a mistake that Ramsdale did, a lot of teams will put their head down. It's an awful mistake, what happened. But the team picked themselves up. And they, at the end, the game was won. When won again, Havertz not on the pitch, Havertz on the pitch. That's a referee's decision, right? That's a completely different. We agree or disagree. But the mentality was there to come back from behind. Because we'll do the same for Liverpool, right? We'll do the same for it.
But the difference with Liverpool, they've showed mentality to get over the line, win the Champions League. They showed mentality, go toe to City and actually get over the line and win.
Sorry, I misspoke. It was the Euros. Yes.
So that is the difference when we're talking about mentality. Of course, Arteta has raised the mentality to a degree. He has. Now that we've got a team that can compete, that can actually be in title runs, of course, very good.
Yeah.
At the end of the day, the way this manager gets hyped up, you have to get over the line. You can't. At the end of the day,
can I counter that for a second?
I want to go back to the other question because this is. Okay. I'm sorry. Before you counter this, and we can actually go into all of this, but I just wanted to, because what Saad said is, I think, it's crucial, right? It's him saying that we must win this game. Where I sit here and I believe you might say that, but in reality, because what Saad is doing is that we must win this game. And if you guys don't win this game, your narrative, Saad, will put the team as failures, right? But you aren't the fastest guy on the race, but you're going against the fastest guy. Let me finish, because I need to explain what you said and how I am looking at it from outside, right?
Okay.
What you said is that we must win the game, but I'm looking at this race and I don't see you as the fastest guy in this game. Man City are at home. Man City, by the way, you might be a better team, right? You might be a better team. Man City were better than Liverpool, but Liverpool at home have the advantage. Man City at home have the advantage, just as Arsenal have the advantage at home. But you are saying we must win this game means if you don't win, you failed. So you're putting that pressure. You are getting one outcome. It's either win or fail. That's what you're doing. That.
The reason, okay, so I'll just explain it quickly. So the reason why I said we must win this game is because at this point in the season, at this point in this title race, there comes a time where you have to say, okay, you know what? This is our time to take out one of the teams from the title race, yeah. And let's face it, even the players at Man City will know, bro. This is a must-win game. For them, it's a must-win game. Same thing for us. It's you lot acting like I'm talking like as if we're 2 or 3, 4, 5 points ahead of them. And I'm saying, oh my God, it's a must-win game against City. No, bro, there's 1 point between us and them. And Liverpool are on the same points as us. So a must-win game for us. If we beat City now, yeah, we're 4 points ahead of them.
Okay.
Liverpool, if they win, they're 4 points ahead of them. But what I'm talking about is if you win that game against Manchester City, we've seen this with Manchester City of previous countless amounts of times. They win the big games, the momentum just carries them through, bro. The momentum just slowly carries them through that mindset of, bro, we have beaten the boss, the final boss in this whole thing. We've beaten the final boss. What are the minions? Well, I'm just gonna keep on batting off the
Yeah.
minions. I've beaten the final boss already. So if you go and beat Manchester City, I think that gives us the best opportunity to go and win this title.
Yeah.
And obviously we got Manchester United and Tottenham, which are gonna be hard games because they're derbies.
I believe you
Or
beat
Tottenham
Spurs.
is a
I
derby.
believe you beat both. I believe if you're gonna drop points, it's not gonna be against both. That's
We
just what I
can,
said yesterday.
and we can, and surprisingly, I
But things
I
will
think-
change, by the way. If you, it depends on the other results. Martin, you were gonna respond about that there has to get over the line and all this stuff.
Well, you were asking originally if we're the strongest team in this league, and I think the old adage that the table never lies shows that we are the strongest, but the difference between those teams is so fine that we might as well be exactly the same strength. Now, what we've done this season is we've taken what we did last year and we've got back to, using Saad's analogy, the final boss level again, where we're at the last 10 games of the season. And we've got a chance to right the wrongs of last season, which has been haunting us ever since. People can't talk about us without saying bottle this, bottle that, 93% this, 93% that. And what Northside was saying is right. We need the mentality, but it's kind of a chicken and the egg. You only get the mentality from actually lifting the trophy, but you have to do it before you lift the trophy. So I think Arteta's done as much as he can to get us back in this position. And if we can beat City, I think that will be like a level up for this team if we can beat them at the Etihad. If we don't win at the Etihad, it becomes a bit more sticky because there's a third team in the title race and we can't do anything about that. If we're 3 points behind Liverpool and they've got the easiest run in and Europa League games, there might be nothing we can do about catching them. So there could be a case for focusing on the Champions League if we lose to City. I know everyone will have a cry about that, but I don't think we're strong enough to go all the way in the Premier League to win and all the way in the Champions League to win. Just we're not that far above everyone else. So a bit controversial maybe, but I'm excited to have a chance to beat City in their home, and that'll send a message to Liverpool, say, look out, we're not mucking around.
I disagree with that. I disagree. I think we're more suited for the Premier League rather than the Champions League. I think the Champions League is a whole nother beast. We just entered the moment where you have to come up against big boys, bro. These are the big teams, bro. You're coming up against heritage, bro. When they say this so-called heritage, bro, these teams are literally what come up in the dictionary when you try and research what the word means, bro. It's these teams' logos and these teams' badges, bro. The Champions League right now, these guys are still gonna have to learn, and they're still gonna have to learn how to go through games. At times you have to speed up the game, at times you have to slow it down. Premier League, we've been there, we've been in it, we've been there last season, going through it. We know what it means when you lose those big games now, because they lost the game against Man City away at the Etihad, and that's basically what ended our season last season. So this season, bro,
we ended our season way before Man City game. We drew those 3 games and it was basically over, right? It wasn't really like
but that was the last chance. That was the Man City game was the last chance. If we took points from them, be it a draw or a win, bro, I think 100% we go on to win that.
Let's see what Nemi has to say.
Nemi, what?
Yeah.
But before Nemi goes on, guys, over 400, almost 450 people here we're talking only about Arsenal today. Of course, I'm gonna try to do a Liverpool stream, and I'm gonna try to do a Man City stream. We might do a Man United stream. Just it's easier to put the Arsenal lot together because they're all like, when I tell them we're gonna do a stream, everybody's saying fine, let's do a stream, right? But the other guys, it's just tougher. But so hit that like. But can we get to 200 likes, guys? It's simple. I don't need to show you. It's underneath your live chat. Just close the live chat on your phone. Like the. Let's get to 200 likes within the next 5 minutes, people. Underneath your live chat. Nemi, go ahead.
All right, I'll start with your first question you asked the panel initially about what was it? If we're the best team. I think I agree with my brother up there. He says we are the best team, not just by position. I would also add that we're the best team. We've scored the most goals. We've conceded the least goals. And I would almost want to take form away from it, because when does form ever end? It's been 3 months since we've been consistently winning games. And you talked about us, the mentality of the team. There's so many games within these 3 months that the Arsenal of old would have lost. That West Ham game, they just beat us at home. I was at that game. I flew from LA to England to watch that West Ham game, and we got back. We lost, even though we played very well. It broke my heart. I changed my flight ticket to watch the Fulham game, and we lost again. And I was like, what the hell's going on? Is this me? Am I the curse? I remember thinking that. But we would have lost this West Ham game. The Brentford one, especially, if you remember last season, we failed at that game. But we found a way to win. And that's what really matters. And I think at some point, we have to grow as fans as well, especially when the team is showing us growth. That's why I'm with my brother, who says that we're the best team. We actually have to act like it. And then when my brother says we have to win at Etihad, I'll add another reason to it. We have to win at Etihad because the only reason we were celebrating the Liverpool Man City draw, is because we have to do the business at City. And this is not even will it be a failure? Not necessarily a failure, but it will mean that there was no need for them drawing. It didn't favor us at all, because Liverpool, they're going to win that weekend because you see them, they're just unstoppable. But if we beat Manchester City, then it counts in our favor. There was a reason we needed to go up top, so we pushed forward. I know Mo's laughing, and I might sound deluded, but this team is showing us something different. And then to talk about the Porto game and the Champions League, I definitely understand. Only 2 of our players have been at this stage before, and they were ex-Chelsea players. One of them is having his first season. The other one is having his first full season at Arsenal. Jorginho and Havertz, that's it. None of the other players in the squad, in that starting 11, or the bench, I'm pretty sure, have been at this stage before. So there will always obviously be a shaky situation. That's something that Arsenal does to teams. We force teams to play a different type of football. Porto came into that game. I'm not gonna try my play to win. They came to disrupt Arsenal. That's what Arsenal is doing to teams now. And it's harder for Arsenal and Mikel Arteta to figure that out, granted, 100%. But we keep finding a way. You know, when they train, they probably don't say, oh, Brentford are going to play this way. Oh, Porto play this attacking style. Let us plan against that. I don't think they do, because Arteta knows that these people have studied Arsenal because we keep winning, and they're just going to come to disrupt us. So now we have to keep reinventing. What are the ways we can change that they haven't seen before? And let's keep going. And I think we should believe just like the players believe. And it's going to be different. And I think we'll beat City. I really do.
Can I say, though, you just said about like 3 months, the form ain't a thing. It's 3 months. It takes 3 games for it to all fall apart, and then 3 months are irrelevant to what
Why
we've
are you
done.
becoming so negative, Giuseppe?
No,
When I
I'm not.
first met you in the beginning of the season, you were like you know what I mean? You were like smiling to the world, and there's like everything is great. What happened?
Because there's a few things that your agendas.
What happened to
your
this
agendas-
guy?
your
What
agendas
happened?
have-
Every time someone says something, he's like, but it
No, but-
it can.
That's
But
what I'm saying.
We have to, Giuseppe.
No, all I'm trying to say is, like, we can't say we're the best team.
We have no
yeah?
side, so you don't
We
need
can't-
to do that.
We can't say we're the best team if we haven't won anything. This is the one thing I'm trying, because do you know what it is? I was
I'm joking,
positive.
bro. I'm joking.
Yeah, I know,
bro.
but I was positive.
I
But
have
then
to
what
we have
happens
to
is
smile.
certain
We're so serious
people,
on a YouTube stream, for fuck's sake.
No. But he
We're
asked
so
this season.
serious.
He asked right now at this moment.
Yeah, but what I'm
If
saying
we
is,
scored the most goals, we concede the least goals, and we're top of the league. How are we not the best team at this moment? Which was the question posed.
and
If he asked you who are favorites to win, I agree with you 100% because history doesn't back that up. But if we're talking about now, like Mo asked, I don't think it's even a debate. It's just clear.
Now, can I ask you guys something for real? Don't you guys think that the Porto game proves that it's not all great? Like, this is a Porto side that is not fantastic, and it came to the Emirates and stopped you from playing football.
I
Like,
think they would have stopped
You're not
anyone
allowed
from
to say
playing
that. You're not allowed
football.
to say
They
but
were
that's the
like my best.
you
You're
see
not
that
allowed
I
to say
think, Martin, I'm sorry, Martin, that's what I call is what people do, whatever makes you sleep at night. Because Porto aren't strong. No side can tell you.
I'm sleeping
In the
like a baby
Portuguese
at the
league,
top of
they
the league,
aren't
Mo. I don't know
strong.
what you're talking about. And
No,
also, I
my
don't think we
point
get
is,
credit for the preparation of winning that game because we didn't just win penalties by fluke. We practiced penalties in preseason in games that were like against Barca and Man United or whatever, like so that the players were ready under pressure. And when we went up to the penalty shootout, we dominated them. We picked the right way. We put it where it needed to go. But people want to paint this as, oh, we struggled. Oh, we scraped by Porto. Whatever. They weren't street smart enough. We beat them. And they came to play. We came to win. Fuck them.
what?
yeah, the thing is,
That's what
you
they
can
said to us, Mo.
you,
They said we came to play in Porto and they came to win. So we came to win in the second leg. I
But
don't care how it's
the
done.
thing is, I hear what you're saying, and we did win. And fair play to the boys; they got it through. They got it over the line. They got that monkey off their back, as we say. They've got through that round. 14 years. There was pressure. I hear it, but then you can't then just eradicate how we played and just have all this confidence in the next round and stuff as if this didn't happen and this was just because Porto were. So what happens if Bayern Munich watch how they play and decide to do the
What
same
City, Manchester City.
Yeah, what about if Man City see how they stifled us and said, well, we're going to do that with better players. And then
Man
they'll
City
beat
going to
us.
adjust to counter us? Because looking back in the day, remember Wenger would never counter the opposition team. He'd just play football and like expect for the result to
City
come.
was just
Now,
an example. Any team now.
well, any
What you've
team
got to
looks at us
realise
now
is-
and they will shut down our strengths as best they can, right? Because we've been dominating teams. You can't just let us run riot through their midfield. So they had to change the way they play. Porto don't play like that normally. They normally have 65% possession in the league. They're like a very fast, free-flowing team, but they played in a certain way that stopped us from being able to attack them. I don't see why the
So that should worry you. So that should worry you because you've seen a team that don't play like that. No, because you've seen a team that don't play like that now play like that against us, and we scraped through.
I don't want to. By the way, I don't want to. Porto's out of the way. I don't think you will, unless you reach the final and you face Atletico Madrid, you won't face a team like Porto again, right?
I agree.
You just won't. Let's just. My point about Porto. My argument about Porto is that some Arsenal fans are very confident of beating Man City, and I'm not sure. I want to interpret it as hope, but they tell me it's not hope. It's on the ground. We are better than Manchester City at the current moment because we are ahead of them in the table and we beat them one time in the league, right? But we are at home. And then when I tell them that you're going to the Etihad, they tell me it doesn't matter, as people never learn. The problem with this is that if Liverpool go to the Etihad tomorrow, they aren't favorites to win the game. And Liverpool are tied on points with you guys, right? They are tied on points. So why some Arsenal fans put that pressure on the team? Why not go to reality? I am going to the Etihad. I will do my best to win. If the boys can get a point, if they can win, fair enough. If they can get a point, we'll move on from here because we still can win the league. We're ahead of Manchester City. But that other talk about, well, we have to win or it's a failure because we are better than Man City. You aren't. Martin literally explained it the best way. You aren't better than Manchester City. And you're going to their ground. Martin said that because if you lose at Manchester City, right, does that game makes you worse than Manchester City? But you're win to play on their ground. Guys, this is the reality of going to Etihad and try to get a result. But the pressure that AFTV put on people, Arsenal fans, us talking here, other people, Arsenal must win against Manchester City. Based on what?
Based on the other runs.
Based on the way that a lot of this fan base overhyped this squad. It's easy to be all season long that we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Now go deliver. And ultimately, listen, we should win. But ultimately, at the end of the season, We ain't won nothing. All that hype was for what? Arsenal fans talk a lot. They talk a lot when the going's good. Oh, this is, we're going to do this, we're going to do that. Cool. Now is the crunch end. Now it's time to deliver. That's why we must. Because if you're telling me that this manager's great and this bench is great and nothing, there's no problem and it's great. Look, he found a way. Penalties against Porto. Cool. Deliver. That's it. That's the only thing that's going to end this debate. End of the season, let's see the trophies. If there's no trophies, it's time for this guy to go. It's time for this guy
Can I guys tell you guys something? Why when I ask Liverpool fans, aka for example Hussam, for example, some of them, half of them tell me we're underdogs, and half of them tell me we're gonna try to win it. If we don't win it, it is what it is. But some Arsenal fans tell me no, we have to win it, and because we are this and we are that. Why there is a discrepancy between the interpretation of the teams between both?
Liverpool fans are just trying not to get cooked.
So you're saying that
Hussam, listen, Hussam is sitting here just trying to defer all and bro, I'm on a stream with him later. I'm gonna tell him this to his face as well. Hussam is just trying to
I am joking. Why you think everything
he can hold that. No, he can hold that. Hold on, let me dunk on Hussam real quick. He's just trying to take away all pressure from himself by saying, no. We are underdogs, bro. We got too many big games. This, that. Bro, relax. Calm down. You have players at least that's been there and gotten over the line, bro. Over the line, bro. They've won a trophy.
Not in a three-way title
in the Premier League. No, but be it what it is. All I'm saying is they've gone and won a trophy in England, the big one, yeah, the Premier League. Okay, so for them to come out and say, "Oh my God, this and this and that," bro, let's relax. Okay?
Do you guys wanna know the reality?
I think each of us can win games, bro. Each of us can win games.
I'm gonna say something, and I want maybe Nemi or Martin or someone answer, right? And then guys, please hit that like button. We got over 500 people here, so I need the likes to go up a little bit. I actually think fans feed off, and actually they are feeding the narrative of Arsenal fans. Other rivals keep telling you, you have to win. By the way, you're the best team in the league. If you don't win, you're a failure. They don't say that to Liverpool. Nobody tells that to Manchester City. No one. They just say to Arsenal fans. You sit on panels and you see everyone telling Arsenal fans, yeah, by the way, you must win against City. This is your chance. You must win against Bayern Munich. This is your best chance. They never say that to the other people. They never say that to Liverpool, even though their manager is about to leave. And if he doesn't win a Premier League, he won 1 in 9 years. But they never tell them this. You're great, Jurgen Klopp. You're amazing, right? But nobody tells that to Arsenal.
That's the rivals. That's the rivals, Mo. Because Arsenal.
But you do it to yourself.
No. Mo, there's a difference. No, Mo, there's a difference because when we say we must win, when I'm saying it, when Sud's saying it, when Northside's saying it, we're saying it because we need to win a trophy, bruv. Because it's been 20 years since our club has lifted a major trophy. So for us,
don't you think that's dangerous though? Like we can't burden Arteta with the 20 years of failure of this club, right? It's not his fault.
It's not his
So
fault.
when people come with this attitude like he has to win or he gets sacked, it's not.
But when he took this job, when anyone takes the job, I'm not even out. Even if Arteta don't win this league, I ain't personally Arteta out. But what I'm saying is, yeah, Arteta took this job knowing that there was a previous 15, 16 years where we haven't won a trophy. And the person that was coming in, yeah, was going to be demanded by fans to win trophies. He's known that when he's come in. So there ain't no thing of now you can't put burdens on him. We're not blaming him for the whole 20 years.
Just attribute what he's responsible for to him, and then I can logically have a conversation about it. Because people want us to up the pressure on this team to the point where if you don't win a Premier League or Champions League, sack the manager. That's what Northside wants.
No, but he's entitled to his opinion. That's the thing. If he don't,
but it's not just him. It's like it's a large chunk of the fan base. You want Arteta sacked if we don't win the Premier League or the Champions League, regardless of how close we get to the target.
Because in the same sentence, I said if he wins me a major honor, I want him to stay.
Yeah, sure, but that's neither here nor there, right?
And I'll go back on everything I said about him. So let's keep it fair, yeah. As much as
you're not seeing any progress along the way. What if you make a final or like
if he delivers me a major honor, that I will also apologize, which is
I don't want an apology.
Not the same energy from a lot of people that think different to me. But what I'm saying is, if we're going to be a big club, listen, we are a big club, yeah, and with big club comes big expectations. And when you've got when you have been this long without a title, it should be an expectation. You're one of the biggest clubs in this country. Why does Arsenal fans always want to run away from the expectation of delivering success? They want all the adulation and the praise, but as soon as it's we must deliver, no context. Oh, but it's building. What is it? Do we want to be big or we don't? Because when
No
you
one's
look at
running
the
from
big clubs,
pressure. We
when you
know that
look
we
at the
have to.
hold on a second. When you look at the big clubs abroad, Bayern Munich must, Benfica, Porto must in their league. When you look at Real Madrid, must, Barcelona must. Why is it different here? Are we not one of the big teams in England? I don't get
No
it.
one's running from
Can I,
pressure.
can I, can I say,
Can I-
can I say
can I
Can I
one
tell
get
thing?
you-
Martin
Just
to answer this? Sad. I'm sorry. Can I get Martin to answer this, please?
No one's running from pressure. It's just you don't need to make these ultimatums before we've even got to the final, like the hurdle, right? No one's saying, "Oh, Arteta must stay." It's like we need to get close. We need to do well. We need to improve constantly. Otherwise, he should go. Like I think everyone can agree with that. But like,
Bro,
it
whether we
doesn't
say
need
it
to
or
be
not,
like.
do you think-
North
Bro,
side,
the
let him
players are not
answer.
watching
North
us
side, let him-
online before they go out for a game,
North
bro.
side,
Like it's
North side.
ridiculous. Like
North
whether you
side.
say it or not, the expectation
What
is
do-
still
what do you
to win a
mean?
major
North
honor.
side, I got guys. Can we not speak
Come on.
over each other? I want to hear, and then we'll get the opportunity to answer. Martin, the way to do this is hypotheticals. If you reach a final, you said if I reach a final of the Champions League and you lose it,
Mhm.
and if you reach, okay, so let me just put the situation for you. If Arsenal reach a final of the Champions League and you get a result against City, and you're going to be behind Liverpool, and Liverpool win every game, so you go to Manchester City and you get a draw at the Etihad, something that you haven't done for a while since 2015, but Liverpool's still ahead of you and they win the league. You think that warrants Arteta to stay?
If at the end of the season we were like
You are
within
1 or 2 points
a few
behind
points.
the title league.
Yeah.
You're 1 or 2 points. Why?
If you look at where we were when he started and where we are now, then I think the answer is obvious. But if you want him to go because you want to be right for the past few years over what you've been saying, then I think that that's a different story.
Okay, North side.
Martin.
Why do you think North side he should be sacked? If you reach a final of the Champions, you got a semi-final, and then you get all the way to the end. Why do you think he should be sacked? And what the alternative will do? Simple. No, like just simple scenario.
Why I think he should be sacked if he doesn't win.
If you reach a final or a semi-final of the Champions League and you get all the way to the end of the Premier League and you're still challenging and you lose it by 1 point or 2 points or something, why do you think he should be sacked? And do you think a new manager will do better than him? And if there is no better alternative, do you just think you should try with anyone else?
Of course, you just try. What do you mean? The club doesn't fold just because of Arteta. Do you know what I'm saying? So at the end of the day, for me, I just feel like the project has failed. He hasn't got us over the line. For me, that even if people want to duck expectation this season, well, the expectation will still be here next season. Are we going to come out with more excuses? Because every year this manager doesn't deliver, there's more excuse. There's always a reasoning to, give it more time. I think he's been given everything this fan base wanted him to be given. That's why now I'm expecting trophies. We've got any project at any football club that the outcome is to win major honors. And I just feel like he's had the time. He's built his squad. He's been given money by the owners. We don't even talk about the ownership anymore because they give him money. He's been backed on his decisions to get Havertz. The players he wants out, the club backs him. So at the end of the day, now it's time to deliver.
Haven't we already got further in Europe than we did in the last 15 years? Haven't we already scored more goals than the squad? Haven't we got more points?
At the end of the day, there's always been better candidates than Arteta because he's a novice. He's a novice. So of course there's better candidates. How can you go for it's like going for a job. One guy's got 20 years experience. The other guy literally hasn't even qualified. And all of a sudden, of course, bro, he hasn't won anything. So of course there's better candidates than Arteta.
Martin,
Right?
can I just say something about the fan
No,
base?
Giuseppe, I'm sorry. I need Saad and Nemi to answer this because before I do, guys, super chats, get your super chats in.
Come back
Get
to
your
me though, because
opinions
I need
in.
to say something, Mo.
Get your opinions and get your super chats. Like the video, we got 600 people. We got 600 people in the house in this heated debate, guys. And I'm gonna get to the super chats right after Nemi and Saad speak. Go ahead.
Okay, here's how I feel. I feel like there has to be a basis to whatever your expectation is. We're currently on chasing 2 titles. One, Arsenal has never won before. We've never won that Champions League. So there's absolutely no basis for anybody, any Arsenal fan, to put their hands up and expect to win it without considering the teams that we're up against. And the second one is the Premier League, which we haven't won in 20 years. I think it's a bit unrealistic to say we have to win it or Arteta is gone. I actually agreed with you up until you said until Arteta is fired. And I also add that this is not an Arsenal fan thing. If you ask a fair pundit, what does Arsenal need to do to win the title? They would say we have to go to City and win, and then we have to keep winning the games. I know, Mo, you brought it up earlier. It's not just an Arsenal thing. It's just what makes sense. Liverpool drew. We went top. Now we have to carry it on. Unfortunately, we have Manchester City, a crazy team. We're not favorites to win it. But if you ask anybody, how can Arsenal win the league? They have to tell you we have to go to City and win. But I think coming on Arteta, when we've grown so much, it's 4 years, yes, with one major trophy only. I understand it. But we are up against arguably the best football team I have ever seen in my life, in Manchester City under Pep Guardiola. I've never seen a team that well, not in my time. And then Klopp, who has only won in 9 years. And people are acting like he hasn't tried. We know everything, Manchester City. You know the money they have, and we know what Arsenal has never had. We never did, even under Arsene Wenger. He was giving crumbs, and then they expected him to build mansions with crumbs. I feel like if we're going to put expectations on a manager, on the team, it has to make sense. Not a title we haven't won in 20 years.
It does make sense.
And one that we've never, ever won.
It does make sense because you've just mentioned about the way that the clubs run and giving crumbs. Well, with less money spent, Klopp got over the line, and he was a more experienced manager than this manager. So if you get the right man, you can get over the line.
Okay.
Conte also came to Chelsea, didn't have his own whole squad, didn't have to spend all the money Arteta's spent, and was able to win while Pep was here. You also mentioned Wenger. Wenger wasn't as good as Ferguson, which is why Ferguson got over him, but he still found a way. 3 Premier League titles up against Fergie, and Fergie's arguably up there as good, if not better, than Pep, and he found a way. So there is ways of getting past and winning. I've never mentioned dominating. That's one thing I've never said, that we're going to dominate while Pep is here. But you should be able to get over the line, and there's examples of Klopp getting over the line and Conte getting over the line while Pep is here. And with the money spent, if that's the argument, how can Klopp deliver a Champions League and a Premier League, with less money spent than this manager?
Because money spent is what?
Can I have something? I want to get Sad's opinion about this, but just about Jurgen Klopp delivering 1 Premier League in 9 years.
In 9 years, if that was Arteta, how would you feel if they told you now Arteta will win 1 Premier League in 9 years? Would you keep him on the job or no?
1 Premier League in 9 years. So
yeah,
I'm waiting 30 years for a title.
In 9, just like Klopp. I'm just giving you Klopp statistics. If he won one, no, you would say no, right? Then for me that makes sense, because at least you're being consistent. But Liverpool fans have the wherewithal to actually look at the bigger picture, look at the teams that they're facing and where they are. We are coming from nothing, my guy. We're coming from the floor. 8th, 5th, 5th. Now we're 2nd. Now we're challenging for the title. I feel like it makes sense not to be satisfied. Obviously, push for more. That's why I'll tell you. I think we're going to win this league this season. We're pushing for more.
Hopefully we do.
But I don't see it as a failure for the club or Arteta if we finish 2nd.
Yep. But
I don't see it as
a failure.
Sad wants to say something. Northside, I have to drop out. Thank you, Northside, for having a guys. Northside LDN. Like him, hate his opinions, like the person. It's all about the opinion. It's never about the person. Just want you to know that there's 650 of you here. I'm expecting Northside to at least get 50 more subscribers from you guys. I know some of you agree with him, some don't. But guys, his channel is in the description. Doing great work, daily content for you, non-stop work. Northside, non-stop work, great work ethics, guys. Subscribe to Northside because a great guy, great content. Agree or disagree, doesn't matter. At least go subscribe to prove that he's wrong when you guys win the title at the end. Right? Thank you. Appreciate it, my buddy.
Big up to the panel. I'm off.
I'll subscribe if we win.
Love.
Love people. Yes.
Yeah, so what I was gonna say about this whole thing, it's interesting, to be honest, because I don't really agree with the fact that we have to continuously keep standards to the highest of levels. Sometimes you have to be realistic, you have to be logical, you have to not necessarily lower your expectations, because you always want to strive to get the Champions Leagues and Premier Leagues. Yeah, you want to be in that position where you're able to win these trophies, and you want to win these trophies. Yeah. Now, where I stand on this though, is that the badge is heavy for the Premier League. We are a team with 13 Premier Leagues. Whether we like it or not, we are a giant in England. Maybe not in Europe. In England, we are a giant, bro. So let's not sit here and tiptoe around the fact that
Mo
the
doesn't
Premier League
agree.
is not. Let's not sit here and he can think whatever he wants, bro. He's not even giant in his own country. Yalla. Khalas. I actually dunked on myself for last scored an own goal. But anyway, let's Mo, don't react to it. Let's move on. Just stay calm. Both of us are fasting. It's the holy month of Ramadan. Khalas. Now where I do stand on this, yeah, is at the start of this whole thing, yeah, when Mikel Arteta came into the club, what did he do? They used words like process. They used words like route. We're setting the pathway, phase or phases. They put up pictures of the Champions League and the Premier League. So they already set the aim for us. They set the aim out for us, yeah? They said, this is what we need to go through. Or this is what we need to go for. Do you know what I'm saying? This is what we need to go for. This is what our aim is at the end of it. Now, this is where I don't agree with everybody who's like, he must win a title now. He must win a title now. Sack him straight away. If I see progression is brilliant. As long as I am progressing from the last season and I'm getting closer and closer to it, at some point he's going to have to win it. Whether it be it this season, be it next season. I think there's 2 more seasons left before people start actually asking, you know what, bro, you're running out of time now, bro. You're running out of time because there's
Can I
only
make a
so close
quick-
as you can
Whoa,
get.
okay,
to the
I need
Premier
to
League.
do, guys, I need to respect the people
Mm.
that send super chats. So I need to actually do the super chats. To be honest with you guys, let me just do them.
What was
Ryan
that?
is
2
saying,
more. What was that?
Big up corrupt judge and the panel, including that fraud. Sad. Biggest thing stopping Arsenal is mentality. It
Hold
is
that,
what
Ryan.
stopped them last season. That's very true.
He's a Liverpool fan, by the way.
Is a
Ryan is a fraud,
we know.
bro.
Ryan is a Liverpool fan. We know that. Mo, I was shocked that guy looks Thomas. I was shocked the guy below you looks like Thomas Partey. Yeah, he is Thomas Partey actually. It's actually Thomas. He's injured. He's going back. He's flying back. It's
Right.
international break, so he's doing
Aye,
podcast.
don't hit him with Lane, bro. Don't hit him with Levi, please, man. Wallah, we need him for the running, bro. We need him for
Andrew
the
Wright
running,
is saying party on the panel. Big up Mo. Big up people.
Big up, guys.
Not just saying party is bro from another mother in the panel. Yes, people. Enigma saying Porto and Arsenal with the best defensive teams in the entire Champions League. Inter are better. We were better, to be honest with you. It was always going to be a tough game. Well, Porto weren't great against Barcelona, for example. But I hear you, Enigma. That Porto game isn't going to happen again until it happens again against Bayern Munich. That's the thing. We'll see how it goes, right? We'll see how it goes. But thank you. Emmanuel is saying, what are your thoughts about burdening? What are you on about burdening? You are a top club. Your standards should be winning trophies. Emmanuel, the thing about it is that what Saad said makes a lot of sense, to be honest with you. It's all about progress. And now there is a threshold. There is one time when you say, now it's the time. People, opinions differ between is the time this season or is the time next season. That's where I think a lot of people on the panel here say that it's this season. Sorry, it's next season. What Northside and other people say it's this season. It's either you deliver now or you go. So it's different, right? Like if you ask me, Man United, now you shouldn't be aiming for the title next season, for example. You should be aiming to progress. If you're asking me, the coach that is going to come to Manchester United next season, your aim should be winning the title. You are putting unrealistic expectations. Some fans will say, no, the next manager should aim for the title because this is Manchester United. So it's different. Yuri is saying, I dare no side to mention a coach that is available in football that will win the league against Pep. Nobody can guarantee to win the league against Pep. However, no side many times said that he would like Hansi Flick or Nagelsmann, someone who won titles before.
I think Arteta, just on this super chat, I think Arteta right now, if he does win, this is no matter what anybody wants to say, this is the best training you want for your manager. if he's a novice, he's just come into the game as a manager. This
but
is
you
the
don't
best training
understand.
you want against him,
I think you
which
guys
is
are
against the very best. You want his training to be against the very best. And funny enough, he was with the very best while he was training. So he learned from the very best
I think
inside,
that-
and now he's learning it
I
from
think
the
you
other
guys are
side.
missing the whole point. I think you're all missing the whole point.
What's the point?
The point is that a lot of people like Lee Gunnar and Northside wants is that we don't want to have someone learning. We don't want to have the guy learning. We want the guy that is. We wanted the Jurgen Klopp and the Pep Guardiola. Where Arsenal Football Club, we don't want to turn into a guinea pig. We don't want
Yeah,
that.
but if
We
they're
want
being
someone who
if they're being
wants.
genuine about that, Arsenal Football Club did not sack Wenger for 16 years after his last title, right? We're not Chelsea, we're not Manchester United. We do things our own way, and to say that that's par for the course for Arsenal is very weird. And what I don't like
Yeah,
is
but
people
that's
just
you're
think
holding
that,
the
no,
club.
no, no, let me
You want to
let me
tell
finish here.
No, come on. You want to tell
Let
the
me
people
finish.
how
Okay,
to
people
support the
think that
club.
it's a linear progression from being any club to being top of the league is spend money, buy players equals success. And I don't think people have put an actual value on how hard it is to compete at the top of the Premier League. But being able to be there is actually something to be proud of in itself. And I know people are like, oh, you didn't win a trophy. What are you talking about? I want to be at the top of the Premier League every season. And the way that Arteta has built this team is to be there every season and to be there 5 years from now or 10 years from now. That's more important than winning a one-off trophy and going, yeah, we did something. Now let's go back to sack this guy. Let's go get someone else. I'm sure they'll be better. Like the grass is not always greener.
I'm gonna go to that part after I finish. Remember, someone put that, Giuseppe, put that in your
Yeah.
mind because
Don't worry, I've got something to say.
I will take Arteta at United. Please, why sack him? Well, I don't know, Emperor. I actually have no idea. Granit Xhaka. Love his super chat. If you want to be considered, I love his super chats. If you want to be considered a big club, then not winning is a failure, no matter how you paint it. And City will not give you that stink window again.
They said that last season.
So that's the point. If you don't win this season,
they said that City would not give you that window again, but they've given us that window again to possibly win.
So
we can't sit here and say, bro, we have to come to the realization now that we are, no matter what you want to do, we have to come to the realization that Arteta has built a team that challenges now.
Yes. Yeah. Which is this
not
is
a team that gets top four.
Fantastic.
It's a team that
give
challenges
him
for the league.
We're not being giving anything. We're taking it.
I always
Sorry,
say
he made
on shows, guys.
Yeah.
I
That was
always
the guy
sit
who
on
said
shows and say Arteta has to take credit. If anyone around the world, an Arsenal fan or not Arsenal fan, tells me sack Arteta and get me a ready manager that is this squad is ready, it's Arteta's work along with Edo on the board. It's Arteta's work. He has to take credit for it. Rubber hand. You subs, rubber. Big up Mo. What?
Rubber band.
Rubber band.
Big
up Mo on the panel. We will win a major trophy
up,
this
bro.
season. Yeah, big up for all the love the super chat. Guys, if you're gonna send a super chat now, if it's related to the topic we're speaking, I'm gonna stop the show and do it. If it's not, I'm actually gonna have a window for the super chats in the description. Now comes the Martin said though is key. Martin said we do things our way. Martin, it's your way. Martin, you don't tell people how to support the club. Some Arsenal fans supported Arsenal while they were winning. Some Arsenal fans waited years and years, Martin, right? By the way, I was in the same boat, right? I'm in the same boat. I did support Inter. We weren't winning major trophies, right? But I have a lot of people that supported Inter when they were winning major trophies, right? My point is, Martin, what you said is that we're doing things our way. You are thinking that our way is your way of thinking, or the club's way is the way you're thinking. Some other fans think, no, if we consider ourselves a big club, I want to hire the ready-made players, the ready-made managers, and I want to win now. If people don't win, they get sacked. Move on to the next one, like Bayern Munich, you know what I mean? Like Barcelona, like Real Madrid. Some Arsenal fans think about their club that way. You don't. But you're telling them,
they're not being realistic.
What I heard from you, Martin, exactly. What you just said. What I heard from you now is that they are delusional, and my way, your way. What I mean, I'm speaking on your behalf. My way is the right way.
It's the Arsenal way. It's not anything to do with me.
See, you are calling. That's what makes me not go nuts when you say it's the Arsenal way. You are assuming that it's the
Yeah.
Arsenal way.
Martin,
We don't have a history of sacking managers.
100%.
Yeah, but Martin, can I
So
say
did Man
something?
United because their manager was winning. Right?
Yeah, and they've had
But
10
when
years
they
of
sa-
sacking
okay, but
managers,
hear me
and
out.
where are they
So
now?
So Man United didn't sack him. The majority of the Man United fans that live nowadays, that we talk to them, aren't the 60 years old or the 50 years old, are the people that are 40, 45, that watched their team win in the 90s, right, Martin? And they had their manager, one manager for 25 years. And when they hired David Moyes, didn't work, sack him. Van Gaal, sack him. Mourinho, sack him. While they never had a history of second manager, but they knew success. So did
But
they
did it
sit
work?
and say it's the Manchester United way 25 years? No, they didn't. They said if you don't win, you go. That's what they said. But you want to tell Arsenal fans that the Arsenal way is to wait and wait and
Yeah.
wait. It's
Martin,
I'm
one
not making
way.
anything up.
But sorry, guys.
Let Giuseppe
It's
talk.
one way,
Let Giuseppe
Martin.
talk.
It's one way. I'm not saying your way is wrong, by the way. I am actually disagreeing with the way you're saying it's the right way. Who said it's the right way?
I'm not saying it's the right way. I'm saying it's an Arsenal way. It's nothing to do with me. It's just
If
how
it's
that we've
Arsenal
acted.
way, it's the right way because they support Arsenal and they are wrong.
Mo, you're actually using other teams. You see how you can't actually say that with Arsenal. You have to go to Manchester United and other teams to try to tie in this conversation. Do you get what I'm saying? Because Arsenal have a way of doing things, and it's never been fire every other season. If you don't win a trophy, buy. It's just not how we do things, and I'm happy with that. I like building.
That doesn't
bonds.
work.
Okay, I'm just trying to prevent here the other argument, Nemi, but it hasn't been 1 or 2 years. This is not Chelsea, right? It's not Chelsea. It's not. Well, I'm not saying Chelsea. I'm saying 5, 6 years you don't win. I am presenting the other argument. How is it hard to understand?
Yeah. Can I say
Okay,
something, Mo?
I hear that.
Can I say something? Yeah. Can I land with
Go
something?
ahead, Giuseppe.
First things first, right? This thing of, we've not been this club. Well, Wenger has shown us that staying the same for a certain amount of time and years doesn't work. You have to adapt. You have to change. In life, all of us, we have to adapt. We have to change. Yeah. What Northside and stuff are saying, and I don't agree with sacking Arteta. So I'm coming from actually your side of the argument, but you say it wrong, and Arsenal fans do it wrong all the time. Yeah, and it's the fact of getting offended and annoyed at what his opinion is on our club. He can think that. What's wrong with him thinking that? No, because when you reply, Martin, it is like you are offended because you're saying no, my way is the right way. And
Look,
I'm not saying
have you ever been in a situation where you have to put up with people being idiots for several years?
No, but there's your problem.
Like
there's your
dealing
problem,
with
bro.
logic.
Idiot. You've got to realize that's idiot in your opinion. There's the. It's not. If Arteta. So what happens?
Look, I was respectful.
The same way
I haven't
you
said
say
anything bad.
No, I'm not saying you've been disrespectful in any way. But what I'm trying to say is, for example, Arteta hasn't won anything yet. So who's winning the argument currently is actually them.
Because that's a false argument. It's a false argument. You can't just say that's the only way of measuring progress or success. It's ridiculous.
No, because what I'm trying to say to you is if Arteta stays 2-3 more years and doesn't win a major honor and then gets sacked, we've wasted time. We should have. You said
relative to what? Like you say, okay. Can I answer that for a sec? Because you said that we.
Can I just land? Okay. 16 years you said that we kept Arsene Wenger, yeah, and we all know, we can all sit here and know he stayed way too long, and we should have sacked him way before.
But look,
and we
look at that situation
closely.
Look at that situation closely. We were paying off a stadium. We had a net spend of minus 20 million for 12 years. The only manager in world football that have kept us in the Champions League without signing a significant player for 12 years is Arsene Wenger. If you put any other manager in that situation, they're like, I can't work with this. I can't work with this.
As a fan, why were you happy? Why are you happy with that?
Maddie, I also add that
because you have to get through these.
You have to also sell all his best players. Don't forget that it was a very crazy situation for Arsene Wenger. No, but I agree
Wenger
with you.
made loads of mistakes, mate. He offered £1 extra for Suarez. You can't forget that.
Okay, so give me one example where sacking the manager after 2 years has worked for any club.
It's not been 2 years.
Chelsea, okay, it's not been 2 years for Arteta, but there was also a pandemic in there for 2 years where we couldn't sign any players for like half of that. So you need to keep context in everything. People say Arteta spent a lot of money. It's 590 million in transfers over 9 windows. That's $60 million a window. He's not outspending the rest of the world to get there.
Mark, you don't get. I agree with Saad, by the way. I've said that as long as there's progression, we keep this manager. I agree. If context, we do well in the Champions League. We do well in the league this year.
Don't fight for these guys.
No, but I agree. But what you've got to realize is, when we just shut off any other opinions on the thing, it just ruins our argument. That's not how debates can
I'm
work.
not shutting
You
anyone
can't just.
off.
You do, because you say that the way we are Arsenal, so you're talking for the entire fan base. You're talking for the
I'm
entire
not talking
club.
for the fan base. I'm really
But
not.
you
I'm just
are when you
saying,
use
look at the
words
club
like
that we support.
Arsenal.
Look at the club and the way we've actually acted. Like, it's not me. I'm not putting anything on anyone. Look, I don't even go to their channels and tell them they have to believe a certain way. I just think how I think. And if I think that they're being silly, I'm going to call it out. It's a silly standard to set.
But you said us as Arsenal don't do that by sacking managers. That's what you said. We don't sack managers. Us as Arsenal, this ain't how we do things. But there ain't no way of doing things. Would you be? But once again, you're talking that Arteta's been here 2 years and he can't be sacked at the end of the season. If he don't win this, but you're saying you basically are though. You're saying that.
No, I'm saying that. Look, I was making a point that he says either we win a Premier League or a Champions League, or he gets sacked. That's what I'm fighting against, because that's not. If we finish 10 points behind and we go out to Bayern embarrassingly 10-0, then look, I'll be there calling for him to be sacked too, or he'll walk himself. But you're putting it ridiculous, impossible to achieve targets. That's just a recipe for these people to come and say, "Hey, we were right."
But you got to look at stuff like last season. You've got to look at that. You got to realize
where we got second.
Listen, people are different. You may have more patience than other people, right? You may have more patience. Someone would have seen last season, like me, the start of this season, I was, like Mo said, I was a lot more positive. I thought, we'll go again, And then what's happened is certain things have shown me this season that it may not all be sunshine and rainbows. Yes, I like Arteta. Yes, I'll keep Arteta at the end of the season. So I'm actually arguing for a side that I don't even... Yes, in my opinion, last season was bad. Yes, it was bad.
How do you compete for the league and have a bad season? I don't understand that. Because you're looking at the framework of 93% and you bottled it, and it was never a positive experience. We had the best start Arsenal Football Club has ever had in the Premier League.
Can I say something? If I am running a race, Martin, if I'm in a race against you four, I'm in a foot race, and I am like 2 miles ahead of you, but then I stack it, break my leg, and I'm on the floor sitting there, and you all pass me. By the end of the race, I haven't had a good race because I haven't won the race.
That's how you describe last season.
What was the expectation before we started the season?
It doesn't matter about the expectation.
No, but that's how you start a race. Every sprinter knows, this is where I place. This is where I'm projected to be.
So if I'm projected to finish fourth and I'm in front of the race,
second, how is that not a good season? Everybody here knows we were never expected to challenge for the title last season. It was not planned. Nobody predicted us to. They were like, we might just shave it and make it into top 4. And we don't just get fourth, we get second. How is that not
the context, bro? It's the context.
Okay,
this is what I don't get.
The only context you're looking at is
mentality. Absolutely shambolic mentality.
The result was disappointing. Wow. I agree with you 1,000%.
Oh my God!
But if you're going to judge the whole thing,
it was a failure. It's a failure. If you judge the whole thing, it was a failure, bro, because we were ahead for 93% of the season and lost. It's a failure. Can't paint it any other way. And I love this club and I love it.
What were the previous season?
Listen, did they impress me last season?
I don't know why you're yelling at us. Like, no one's getting worked up about this.
No, listen, Italian. Yeah, I'm Italian. I'm passionate.
Okay, I'm Australian.
I'm not getting angry.
Too, but I don't yell.
I'm because I just need because what I can't understand is how you can say we're a big club. Don't ever come on here and say we're a big club if then you're going to say that our expectations shouldn't have changed when we're 93 ahead of the season, 93%. It shouldn't have been a disgrace that we didn't win the league last season. Yeah, and then call us a big club. You can't put them two quotes together because that's not big club mentality.
Do?
They win the league when they're ahead 93%.
Or do they challenge for the league?
We have the
when you were in a position of a club that was in the mud where we were 10th. Like, we were 20th at one point at the start of the season where we came. I think we ended up 5th. We lost the first 3 games.
And 20 years ago, we were in Premier League.
No. Okay, just let me finish here. Let me finish. If you can look at last season and only take negatives from it, then I can't help you because you're not looking at the bigger picture. The bigger picture is over several years. And what we did is went from 8th to 5th to 2nd. And people want to paint every one of those years as an absolute failure. But no club does that. Unless you're doing extremely well.
Hold on, Martin. That's where you're wrong. You can have positives in failure. You can have positives in failure.
You're talking like there's no positives.
No, but I'm just trying to tell. You're trying to say there's not negative. You're trying to say that us losing the league. Oh well, we shouldn't have won it anyway. At the beginning of the season, we didn't think.
no negative. It's just that's not how I choose to see the season as a failure. That's how you choose to see the season, and you yelling at us saying it was a failure. But for me, it's getting closer to what closer to success. You have to get close to it before you can win. So if every team that tries to challenge now gets that same treatment, oh, you didn't win it, well, I'll sack your manager. Like they're not setting unrealistic expectations for every manager and every team.
Once again,
By the way, he never said win or sack him. Like that never came out of Giuseppe's mouth.
No, but Giuseppe's trying to argue the point for people that he doesn't necessarily agree with.
The whole argument, Martin, started with you saying it's the Arsenal way. As you are, with all due respect,
I don't know why.
You literally said that.
No, but why did it get you mad? Like why?
Because you're policing how people support their club, and you're assuming that if people
I'm not
disagree,
policing. I just literally said it's the way we do things historically.
You labeled what you think as the Arsenal way, and instead of thinking it's my way of doing things, you literally labeled your way.
I haven't
as
sacked
the
the manager.
Arsenal way.
All right. I'm just talking about historically the way we have done things, not the way I have done a single thing in my entire life, or how I think anyone else. Everyone's entitled to support the club.
That's a problem, Martin. You don't have a lot of history. You don't have a big history of.
We don't have a lot of history.
Just don't take my words. Wait until I finish the sentence. So you don't have a lot of history and a sample size to say that Arsenal have waited with managers and was succeeded. No, Arsene Wenger came in, won, and stayed too long. For your liking. That's actually the way to think about it, not the other way around. Not the other way. You are making it.
How many managers have we had in the whole Premier League? That's a big sample size, like 30 years. Okay, so that's Arsenal Football Club, not me.
4 managers.
3 managers.
One before Wenger.
Managers in 30 years.
If I'm not mistaken, one before Wenger, Unai Emery, and then Arteta. But hold on. What you are saying, it's the Arsenal way. Who said that it was a successful way? Martin. Who said?
You ask the other people that they disagree? It's not,
when you said the Arsenal
me.
way, can you explain to me what do you mean the Arsenal way? Did you have a manager that waited 5-6 years before winning and then he started dominating? When did that happen? Can you tell me when did that happen?
Maybe like 30 years ago or something.
Something I don't know about, like 30 years ago. When
it was before you started watching the Premier League. I think you started in 03-04, right? So it was like 10 years before that.
So did you? You're talking about the end of the 80s then. So you're telling Arsenal fans of this generation, right? And you're not that old. That, by the way, the Arsenal way is to wait years and years until you be successful. That's what you're telling us.
Patience breeds success.
To just dead that off right now. How many years did we have Emery before we sacked him? So by our last manager and being sacked, your argument just dies because Arsenal way we should have kept
Emery lost the dressing room.
No, but by your logic of the Arsenal way of keeping the manager,
logic. I don't know why. I don't know why people keep saying this. This is just I'm just telling you how the club acted. And Arteta's mission is to try and bring back everything that Wenger brought to this club.
I agree.
Culturally.
We agree.
And it has nothing to do with me or what I say or how people say.
And by the way, Martin, Arteta, by the way, just for people to not misunderstand what we're saying here, Arteta is doing the right thing. The club brought Arteta to build a young squad that can compete for 5, 6, 7 years. He is doing it. Odegaard, 24. Saka, 22 years old. Martinelli, Saliba, Gabriel, 26 years old. Declan Rice, 24. He is succeeding. Our argument is how long this will take. And I'm not saying this year. I'm not saying next year. I don't know that. I'm not an Arsenal fan, actually. I don't give a shit. I'm giving my opinion from outside. I'm being serious.
You tell us, Mo. How long should any manager be given in the Premier League before they get sacked if they haven't won the Premier League? No, I don't want to hear context. I just want to hear a hard and fast rule about managers, how long it should take them.
It depends. It depends how they are backed. And it depends how they are
let's use Arteta.
For example, let me give you an example, a hypothetical example that can happen. Diego Simeone win the Champions League this season. Decided to leave Atletico Madrid. Goes to Arsenal and tells the board, I want 400 million or 300 million in the first season. The board comes up with the money, give him that. Simeone should be given 2 years, if he's back to his 500 million in 2 years, to win the Premier League or win the Champions League. If he doesn't, he should get sacked. Okay, hold on, Martin. From this point, what I mean from this point, from you challenging not from what
Okay,
Arteta.
so-
That's why Arteta.
So
that's
was
why
Arteta anything like
5
Simeone?
years? That's why Arteta is given 4 or 5 years. Why? Because Arteta started from a way lower point than when Arsenal is now.
Yeah.
Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Exactly.
I just
But
think-
even big
However,
clubs-
I just
it should
think
be a
they've set up-
threshold.
I'm going to stop talking.
How long?
I
should
just
they
think
give
I just
Arteta?
think they set up.
How long should they
Bro,
give Arteta more?
I genuinely think. Oh yeah, go ahead, man.
No. I want sad. Go ahead.
I genuinely think they've set up Arteta to be a long-term manager. They want him to be another Arsene Wenger, stay at the club, the old school type of manager, the manager that stays at the club for years. I'm talking years. The only difference is now they've incorporated it with, you have, instead of the manager taking care of everything, instead of the manager taking care of every aspect of the club. Like before, managers were handling transfers, managers were handling the wages, everything. They were handling everything. They were a manager all over the club. They basically managed nearly every aspect of it. Now you obviously have the sporting directors. You have this. You have that. What Arsenal are trying to do now is they're trying to build Arteta into the modern day old school manager, if that makes sense. So the manager who stays for long and builds a team, he builds that core team and he's slowly putting more players onto it, and then keeps going down that route. They want to go down the Arsene Wenger way. They want to go down the Sir Alex Ferguson way, but they want to modernize it. That's realistically what they're doing right now. So listen, I think
them.
for
I'm
me,
with them.
I think
I'm
for
with
me, he's not going to get sacked at all.
I don't think he will. I think he will stay a year or two.
I agree that they sacked
2 years.
I understand that they
He's
sacked
doing a good job.
what's his
I
name?
never said he's doing a bad job. I disagree with no side all the time. I tell him you are very harsh, and I disagree with him. I said context, and you know that about me, Martin. But you are trying to portray me
No,
as the
I
guy
was
that
just
is
interested.
bad.
Like
That's why
you
because
said, 2
I
years.
actually
Like you think
disagreed
he's
with
going
the
to
way of
get
called
sacked?
Arsenal way. I don't think so. I don't
That's
tell people
offensive
the
to
way.
Inter fans, maybe. I don't know.
I don't tell Inter fans
for
how
now-
to think about their club. I don't.
For now,
I don't tell
for
them
now,
that.
my
I think,
way. And
for
by the
now,
way,
think
I
he's
think
already
my way.
progressed,
By the way, I think my way is the right way. I just don't call it the Inter way because once I label it the Inter way, that means everybody else is wrong, and it's wrong. Like,
But every club
abstract,
has
like
their
it is
own like
done.
character or culture, right? Like Inter has its own idiosyncrasies, right?
We don't. We just don't.
No, you're just a generic, bland football club that
There is
does
nothing
everything the
called.
same as everyone
I don't
else.
know. I don't know what the Inter way is. To be honest with you, I just don't. I've been supporting the club for 25 years. I don't have a way. I just
Yeah,
don't.
well,
Clubs don't have
the interway is to go for
The Inter way is
brilliant
to go out
players
from
every
Atletico
single
Madrid
time.
in the round of 16 of the Champions League. That's the Inter way.
There you are. There you
Trying
are.
to
Why are you
get
dunking
a heart
on your-
attack.
Why are you dunking on yourself? Why are you dunking on yourself? What's going on here, bro?
Maybe that's the Inter way then.
the Inter way.
Hey,
Let
you
me
can't say
go-
that
Well,
because
bro.
you've won the Champions League, bro.
Let me
Relax.
do the
It hurts
stupid thing. I
Mo
think,
so much that he went out.
oh
He's
my
done- he's
God.
done-
Because
done
the people,
trebles, he
let
wants
me
to
let
say,
me address
this is
let me
the
address
Arsenal- the
let me
Inter way.
address let me address the people in the chat. We have
Doesn't make sense.
650. Number one, you guys aren't liking the video, right? We aren't even on 300 likes, and we had like 750
Frauds.
people here.
Like, come
So
on.
you guys are freeloaders. Thank you for everybody supporting, sending super chat, and actually liking the video. And I'm gonna address the people that try to call me a clown in the chat because I'm having an opinion. If having an opinion makes you give you the right to call someone a clown, you are the clown. Simple as that, right? Because you cannot accept other people's opinion. You absolutely, you literally. And by the way, if I'm annoying, by the way, you can choose not to watch the channel complete. You can choose to unsubscribe. Listen, I respond to every freaking comment after every video. I try to bring panels daily. I'm fucking streaming when I'm fucking fasting, right? And then some people say, "Oh my God, you're this, you're that."
You're a
It's up
legend,
to
Mo.
you.
You're a legend.
Right? To be honest with you, people are just annoying, bro. They can't accept other opinions. Martin's sitting here, he's arguing with both sides. They're both disarguing with each other, and it's a respectful conversation. It's as simple as that. You know what I mean? Why people cannot be respectful? It's unbelievable, bro. Oh my God, some kids or whatever. Granny Jack is saying, if Arteta doesn't win this season, give me Inzaghi. Why would Inzaghi leave Inter if they win the league to go to Arsenal unless you offer him triple his wage? Again, And by the way, Arsenal, you might not spend the same amount of money you spend. Thank you so much, Granny Jaka, for the super chat. Let me put a. Can someone read this, please?
Big up, Mo. Wishing you every success with the channel.
Thank you so much for
Hyper
that. I
Protagonist.
appreciate it. I'm just trying to do the timestamp for the super chats so people know when the super chats were read, right? Yuri here is
And
saying
big up the
Arteta,
chat for calling me an Arteta
Arteta
sexual.
is the reason clubs are giving their manager more time. I like it. It's very true, by the way. It's actually very, very true. And I agree with you. It's actually, and by the way, I have to say something for the people that don't understand, the people don't watch the content often. Arteta's tenure at Arsenal until this moment, I think he's meeting expectations of the board. When the board hired Arteta, I think they told him, listen, take off the weed, and I want to build this team that will be able to challenge and win probably in 3 or 4 years. So he is doing his job. But at the end, there has to be a threshold, or there has to be a point where you're like, okay, you have to win now.
You've entered it now.
I don't think this, by the way, and I don't think it's this season. I just don't.
No, but we've entered that threshold where the next season he's gonna have to win.
Yes.
Yeah. Or
Yes.
maybe the next
We
season after
agree
that,
then.
he's gonna have to win.
Yeah.
I agree with you.
Congrats, Mo, on getting Thomas Partey on the panel. Yeah, we had to make a lot of calls. His
Cheers.
agent, though, was very tough to deal with. His agent was very, very tough to deal with. It was very tough job to get Thomas Partey with us. Last season, a bad season. So by your logic, that's for you, Giuseppe, by your logic, if we lose the final of the Champions League by penalties and the Premier League by goal differential, the season is a complete failure. Can you explain?
Can I explain how that is? Just
Yes,
he
of
hasn't listened
course.
to anything I've said. He hasn't listened to anything I've said. Last season, we weren't behind City and then went all the way where we shouldn't have, and then just missed out. We were ahead of the season by multiple points, 93% of the season, and then we fell off. We were the ones that fell down. Yeah, that is a completely different context to getting to the final, losing on penalties.
Why?
And
Let him finish then, and then you can respond to him.
So at the end of the day, that comment to me is irrelevant to what I said, because I don't think that is failure what he's put in the chat. But last season was a failure because they're two completely different scenarios. Yeah,
it can be a success and a failure at the same time, I think. And that's
actually, it can be
the subtleties.
It can be a failure with a lot of positives to take from.
That's
to go
what I
on
said.
to the next season. Does that make sense? There's
that's
a lot
what
of
I
learning,
said.
a lot of lessons learned, a lot of positives, a lot of improvements. But at the end, I was ahead. The other guy was behind me in the race, and I let him take over.
I made a mistake. That's the difference.
No,
We
there was
made
also
a mistake
context
last
that we're
season.
forgetting. If you don't mind me chiming in, we forgot why we lost that season, and
You know why? Because Saliba got injured.
Yeah, and that's
yes.
a big. And we had Rob Holding playing during the crunch time. Rob Holding, who is not Arteta's man, and we had no bench. Is it? You know how you said we have to look at the
About Mo,
context
yeah.
about 93%. Those 93% happened because Saliba was there. Arteta had his man. And then if you're gonna add that context, you have to add all the context for it to make sense.
Let me. Wow. Granny Jack is saying this guy Martin moves and speaks like a Spurs fan. That's a first.
Nah, man.
That's a first.
Do you know, big up Martin, by the way, because me and Martin agree on a lot of things, bro. Like, so
You don't have to
Hey,
he's his
The
own
league,
man. He can defend himself.
the league on a cult is out to get me. If I disappear, you know why. I'm sorry, but I just spoke my truth.
Tevin is saying this whole argument. See, this is how great debates are. We have one guy calling Martin a Spurs fan and the other guy, Tevin. Big up Tevin for the super chat and the support for the channel, by the way. This whole argument is disingenuous. Martin is correct. Someone saying Martin's a Spurs fan, the next super chat saying Martin is correct.
Big up,
Arsenal aren't a club that sack managers like other clubs. I get what he's saying. That method is not his way. It's just the club, what the club does things. My response to that, Tevin, is that you don't have the data to back that. You don't have the data to back that. You only, in your lifetime, probably when you supported, I don't know how old you are, Tevin, you've seen 3 managers. One of them was successful early and kept failing and dragged the club, right? Without winning major honors. Failing is the failing thing is a spectrum, right? Some Arsenal fans say we competed for the Champions League for a while. And some other fans would say we won the league in 2004. Where were you in 2017 when you got sacked, or 2016? What happened these 12 years? So it's a spectrum. So Tevin, I don't think it's the Arsenal way at all. Just they kept Wenger because they couldn't. Sean P is saying the guy in the top left is the only Arsenal fan showing any standards. I love the debates, guys. I love debates. Every other super chat is different opinion. I love super chats when they actually say exactly what a debate is. Love him. Thank you, Sean, because it's absolutely great one. It's just my opinion. See, his opinion, agree with that. Tevin agrees with Martin. It's great. This is what a debate is, to be honest. Warren is saying, as an Arsenal fan, I gotta say, guys like on the top right are single biggest issue in our club.
Wow.
Oh
I'm the
my
biggest
God.
issue.
Oh my God. That's taking it up a notch. You know what I mean? No standards and no accountability for failure whatsoever.
Who's
Wow.
right? Me or am I right or left?
No, he's talking
No,
about
he's
Martin.
talking about.
He's talking
Martin,
about
do you have
me.
a
He's saying
response
that
to that at all?
I'm the reason
So
that
that
we
last
failed.
one was for me. The last one
Yes.
about the standards was for me.
Do you have a response to that, Martin, at all?
People like to frame what happened into whatever narrative that they want. And if that makes people feel better, yeah, I'm the reason. Because I don't want to sack Arteta.
I agree with you, Martin. By the way, so I guess we're both. the
You and me,
reason-
brother.
By the way, he's not saying about sacking Arteta. He's saying about not taking accountability for the failure last season and using excuses rather than saying we weren't good
Well,
enough. and it was
you're a new
failure."
parent, right? I'm a parent.
Not yet.
And
Not
when
yet.
you
It's coming.
not soon to be, okay. When you're trying to make something like a child, for example, become a better human, you use a certain different way of positive reinforcement. You're like, you did better, you're doing better, here's a reward, blah, blah, blah. If you slap your kid in the head because they said something wrong, maybe that's standards, but like that's just not me. Like we don't have to be so knee-jerk and like every time a rival says you need to sack your manager, you've got no standards. We don't have to like bow down to that. And I think that especially online, we're used to just, the people that are positive about their club go quiet because the people that are negative are so loud, and it generates like a self-feeding loop of.
But if you want to
Standards.
I need to do the next super chat. Warren, big up Warren. Thank you everybody supporting the channels in the super chat. Comdean is saying the reason our goal was top 4 was because of the size of the squad. So when we got injuries and fell away, it shouldn't be a surprise. That's what Nemi just said. Just you have to look at the reasons why we fell off. But I look at it as maybe you should have strengthened him more. Instead of getting Kivior, maybe you could have gotten a center back better than Kivior in the winter. Maybe. Listen, there's a lot of maybes. At the end, you fell off. You guys were saying something else. Go ahead. Nemi wasn't. Go ahead. Nemi didn't talk a lot, to be honest, and I want to hear from him.
Yeah, I was just saying that I actually think it's the complete opposite. That super chat just stung because I think it's the people who put unrealistic expectations on the club that makes it harder for the team. That constant bashing of the players who are on social media, and some of them don't have. We've seen it happen a lot. Some of them don't have the mental willpower because they're so young and they fall off. But I also feel like there's no basis. You know what I feel like if we're not freaking Real Madrid. A lot of Arsenal fans are acting like we're Real Madrid. And the Arteta, the Wenger slander is so off because the only reason Arsenal is a big club today is because of Arsene Wenger. And then everybody also call that failure.
That's not true. You won
correct
titles before Arsene Wenger.
No. I said in this climate.
Herbert Chapman, bro.
Yeah, no. Obviously, the legends. I'm not gonna. But I'm talking about this day and age.
Sorry, Sad. Did you make dua for us before you make a stop?
Of course. Of course.
I mean, thank you. Go ahead, Nemi. I'm sorry.
I'm saying it is necessary. This climate, no big team can compete with what was Highbury's capacity? Wasn't like 30-something thousand?
Yeah, 40.
It's just not real. But we're not talking about Arsene Wenger. Let me focus on this season and Arteta. I feel like the negativity around the club is false optimism because we're not who these people act like we are. We're not. If zero Champions League, zero Champions League.
I love a realistic Arsenal fan. Finally,
zero Champions League. But don't get me wrong. It doesn't mean we can't dream and not expect these things. But people acting like you've not won the major honors in 20 years and Champions League, the ones we're in, zero. So where is this high and mighty fire him if we're not excelling like Real Madrid standard coming.
Can I say something, bro? If I hire you, if I give you a job and you come
Mm-hmm.
work for me, and I say to you within the 5 years, but within 5-10 years, you're gonna be on this amount of money, and you're gonna have this, you're gonna have a company car and all that. Then it
Mhm.
comes to the time, and you're like, bro, I ain't seen no company car. My wages are the same as I started with, and all that. Yeah, you're gonna be pissed, disappointed, and you're gonna be angry. Now, when we moved to the Emirates, we were told by the club, by the Arsenal, yeah,
Mhm.
by the Cronkies, that this was we were moving to compete with the greats. We're moving to compete with Real Madrid.
Yeah.
We're moving to compete with Bayern Munich and all that. So now that it's been all that time, of course fans are now annoyed. How can you now say that we shouldn't feel like we are that? We're not that team. We're not Real Madrid. We know that.
Mhm.
But what these guys are saying is, from what you promised us and what you told us, we should be like these guys.
Yeah. I'm not talking about being angry. Angry with the board, angry with the people who made us false promises. I agree 1,000%. I'm talking about expectations in terms of trophies, because people are going on about we have to win this, that. I'm not talking about the promises. I'm talking about the expectations that the trophies must be signed, sealed, and delivered because we're Arsenal Football Club. It's false. If we're gonna be genuine with ourselves, it's not real. We're not that guy. Not yet.
I agree with that. I agree. I don't
Not
think
yet.
we have any
But
divine
that's
right
the
to win the
goal.
Premier League.
And I truly, and I'm telling you, I watch this manager. I watch a lot of. I'm that guy who watches a lot of press conferences, and I go in depth and I study mannerisms and the way you sound. The super chat that talked about Arsene Wenger is the reason. Arteta is the reason managers stay longer. It's because he drums it out. Arteta is always saying, "How many managers were fired last season? This job is hard." When he's talking about the VAR and the mistakes they're making, all these things, and the way he speaks about the players, the way he addresses certain situations that might go over other people's head, it's important. And I keep saying this on my channel. We do have a special manager that it will be a grave mistake to let him go. That's why that United fan said, "I would take Arteta in a heartbeat," because they see it. It's a shame that some of us can't see it.
And they also don't want us to succeed, right? Like, I think it's important to remember that, like, the reason why I got on YouTube chat originally was to try and undermine other clubs' belief in their manager and their team. It's just what we do. We troll each other. We try and make each other question ourselves. If Arsenal was just like a business, and Arteta came in as a CEO and took the business from where it was, failing, terrible, there's unlimited metrics which will show how much progress we've made. But because it's not the most profit ever made on the NASDAQ for the year, that's how football is. Football is about you either win it or you're a loser like everyone else. But if you keep in context about the club, and if you've been through all the drama that we've been through, like everyone says, 20 years without a title, I've been watching for 30 years, 30 plus, right? So you take everything that you've experienced in the spectrum, and I think he's doing a great job. I'm tired of fighting for Arteta. I'm really bored of it. If I can make a 10-hour compilation of the amount of times these people that want him out have been wrong, but I don't have the energy for that. So yeah, I just try and enjoy watching my football club.
But once again, what you just said of them being wrong is, I believe, is a wrong thing
In
to
his
say.
opinion,
In
opinion.
your
But
opinion,
if we sacked him, where would we be right now? We'd be back at square one.
I
with
don't want to
someone
sack
else.
him. You got to realize I'm talking from your side, but I'm not
No, but
looking
you
with
have to look.
lenses on.
If they were right, which was what they want to be, then he would have been
No,
sacked by
no.
now.
That's the one thing, that you're wrong with. They don't want that. They're Arsenal fans. We got to stop doing that as well. They're Arsenal fans. They want to win. They want us to win, of course. Yeah, they don't want stuff to happen and us to lose just to prove their point. They want to be proven wrong. But they're just
That's
a
not
bit
what I've
more
seen.
pessimistic as a person, maybe, than you are. And there's the difference that you can't seem to understand. And I'm just saying it like this. I want Arteta to stay. I think Arteta's done a decent job as well. I wouldn't say he's done a great job because he hasn't won anything. He's done a decent job. He's got us forward. He's got us where we want to be going. But if they want him gone for not winning something, that's fair. That is complete. I believe that it's completely fair for them want Arteta gone at the end of the season. Don't mean I have to agree with it, because I don't.
No, but
it's
Look
fair.
at what Lee Gunner said. Lee Gunner said that if we finish within 6 points of the top, he'll be Arteta in. When we were within 6 points of the top, he's like, he didn't win anything. You keep moving the goalposts on these people because they don't want to ever admit that they were wrong.
But it's context. That's why context.
And it's the people like me and Thomas Partey and Saad over here that haven't called for his head along the way, I'm assuming.
It's Nemi Porto.
take-
It's not Thomas Part. It's Nemi.
It's Nemi Lion.
Porto.
It's the people that
almost
have
said
had
it.
patience, that have put up with everyone demanding that we sack our manager, that should get some credit for where we've got to. Otherwise, we wouldn't even be here.
So I'll ask
I
you
don't
this,
know.
yeah. One last thing. Because I'm with you, but the same way you want them to apologize when and if
I don't
Arteta
expect
wins the
one.
league.
Nobody
Yeah.
wants anybody to
So-
apologize.
No, I'm just saying you want them to admit they were wrong and all that. You would want that, right? So at the same time, if another 2 years go by and Arteta don't win anything, and then he gets sacked, are you gonna then say you was wrong?
Not if a club is in a great position with a new manager and everything's going well, right? I think that you need to look at where we were and where we are. And I don't want them to admit they were wrong, but if people want me to listen to them, then I'm going to look at how often that they were right and wrong in their history. And if you've been consistently wrong and working against us, I can't take you seriously.
But they've been consistently right theoretically because we haven't
About
won.
what?
About us
No,
not winning
because
stuff, though.
They just kept moving the goalposts to the final destination, which is either a Premier League
Listen.
or a Champions League against Pep.
I don't personally know Lee Gunner. You use the Lee Gunner thing. I don't personally know Lee Gunner. I watch his content. I like his content. I don't agree with everything he says. I agree with certain things he says. But what I've got to say is you said about him moving the goalpost, but he said 6 points within. But you can change your opinion due to what happens throughout a season and what you're watching. You can't.
Everyone can change their opinion, but if you're
So
going
this
to
is
make
what
your
I'm trying to
opinion
say.
public knowledge, you have to be responsible for it.
No, but once again, if you watch his content, when we were then 8 points clear at the top, he then changed his narrative to say, if we don't win this season, it is a failure. So he changed. Before it happened, he had changed what he thought were his beliefs in the season and what he thought his standards of the season. Yeah. For example, I thought if we get top 4, it was a successful season. I would have been gassed before the season started. But then when you're sitting there at the top of the Premier League and they make me sit there and start getting giddy and make me believe we're going to win the league.
But listen to
We're gonna
yourself.
win the
You're
league.
mad at them for making you believe they can win the league. You should be happy about that. Like, we can't enjoy any part of this process until we win a title. It is ridiculous.
No, because for me, I'm sorry. For me, it is like there's no joy in not winning it. Because I forget that I can have joyous moments like when we beat
massive
Liverpool.
difference between personalities and how people support the club. Martin
Yeah,
is enjoying it.
But the sport in general.
Giuseppe is nervous and he just wants to win. He doesn't care if he plays good football or not. He just doesn't care. He just wants the trophy. It's just different. Let me do the super chats, people, because they're piling up. And there are very, very, very good ones that are actually related to what we're saying. I appreciate everybody that gets involved in the conversation. You guys are making the conversation happen, to be honest with you. These are piling up. Comdine is saying, and I'm going to answer each and every one of them. How would we know Saliba would get hurt and not Gabriel? We got a left center back and not a right one because we had Tomiyasu who also got hurt. Comdine, I'm going to answer this. You had Rob Holding and it worked for 2 games until it didn't. And I'm presenting the other argument, Comdine. Their argument was, why was Rob Holding in a title challenging team? Rob Holding should have been released and someone else should have been signed. That's the argument, Comdine. It might not be my argument because nobody expected Arsenal to go challenge for the title, right? But at the end, the facts are, if Inter now, if when I cussed, and I'm going to give you an example that I hold the same exact standards for my club. When we subbed out in the Champions League to Ram or Lautaro or whatever, and we got in Alexis Sanchez and Arnautovic, I cussed the club and whoever signed them, right? Because I believe my club should aim for a higher substitution. I'm not saying you hire Harry Kane and you get Haaland. I'm saying at least a decent substitution. Simple as that. So that's what I...
Yeah, but Inter's poor. You have to update your expectations.
Which makes it worse. That Arsenal aren't poor, but your substitution was Rob Holding.
No, but financial fair play makes everybody poor. If you have a certain amount of money,
you're telling me that you could not have released Rob Holding early.
No, because we already signed.
Look at what happened in that January. We signed Trossard instead of Mudryk. We signed Jorginho instead of Caicedo.
We had money.
By the way, that proves, Martin, that you had the money. You going in for Mudryk?
No, we didn't buy
million,
Mudryk because we didn't want to spend that money.
Because they actually outbid you by a small margin. And so hear me out. You actually just scored an own goal. And instead of paying 80 million for Mudryk, right? Chelsea.
We
or
could
60.
have.
Let me
but
finish.
Every
Let me finish.
decision you make, I know what you're trying to say. We could have
You
afforded
know,
them,
so
but
let me
every
explain to
decision
the
you
people.
make,
You
you
know,
pay
because
for.
you know, but the people don't know what I'm about to say, Martin.
I know what. Look, they know
And
what
I'm
you
not
don't say,
trying
bro.
to. I'm not. Listen, I'm
let's
just
not
trying to explain
pretend.
the situation, Martin. Right? You had 60 million, and instead of spending 60 million on Modric, you chose. Well, he's not worth 60 million because Chelsea offered 70. We're gonna go and sign Trossard for 35. The 25 that is left, you could have signed someone else. Basic.
Who
Basic
we
math.
assigned for 25?
No,
What
I don't know.
quality
But by the way,
centre-back?
by the way,
Not his job.
I'm not a scout. I don't know. I don't know. I don't.
On
I
that
do
comment
watch,
as well.
I do watch every single. I do watch every single game in the world. Right. I only watch Premier League
Yeah.
and Inter, and some Real Madrid and Bayern Munich in the top teams. I'm not a scout. I
On
am
that
sure
point-
there is a center back out there. Inter signed Pavard for 22 million. Pavard, right center back that played for Bayern Munich and won the World Cup. There are scout systems that get paid to do that, but not the point. But I'm just explaining to Comdin what it means. Tevin, big up Tevin, guys. W's for my guy Tevin for supporting the
Tevin.
channel and getting involved. Big up
Big
for
up,
my guy
Tevin.
Tevin and Warren, to be honest, for supporting the channel. Everybody. As of November 2022, Arsenal have the fourth fewest managers in the history of English top flight football, behind West Ham 24, Liverpool 21, and Man United 25. We do not sack managers like Chelsea and other clubs. I actually, Tevin, I'm gonna respond to you. And it's gonna sound very strange, right? Because I was too young and I didn't have the privilege to watch international football when it was 95. I only watched the World Cup of 94. That time there was only certain games that used to be aired on TV where I lived. After George Graham, who was successful at Arsenal, this is the fact that Martin didn't tell us. I don't think Martin was old enough to watch that time.
I
Arsenal,
wasn't a fan then. No.
guys, Arsenal sacked 4 managers within 2 years to hire Wenger because they were not successful. They hired Stuart Houston, Bruce Reich, and then they hired Stuart Houston again as an interim. Then they hired Pat Rice. This is an interim again.
It's
So
Bruce
basically-
Rioch. It's Bruce Rioch.
Bruce-
Yeah.
Please.
By the way, my point is they hired Bruce Rioch and he wasn't successful. They sacked him. The rest were interim managers. So there is no Arsenal way then, apparently. If you're
Well,
not
Wenger also
successful.
came from the Japanese league and was kind of an unknown manager, so I
And
think
he
that
won.
has parallels.
And he
to
won the
Arteta.
second. Martin, by the way, Wenger won the second year. Martin, right? Or I wrong
Yeah,
or right?
I know. I was there, bro.
Arteta won his first year. He won the FA Cup.
Okay, well done. If you consider that the major trophy that you want to live on, it's up to you. I hate this
Oh,
argument.
No,
crapping on the
but it's
FA
not.
Cup.
I hate
it
this
is- It
argument,
is one
but
of the
fine.
4 trophies.
But anyway, my point is, Tevin, I get what you're saying. And I think actually that is because you kept Wenger for a long time and he didn't do it. He didn't win the Champions League of the Premier League for 12 years.
didn't
Wasn't
win
he
Champions League
sacked
at
up
all.
to 16, guys, if I'm not mistaken?
Walked away.
16
didn't
or
get-
17?
17.
So 13 years without winning the Premier League. If my club has a manager for 13 years that doesn't win the Champions League of the Premier League or the Serie A, I'll be so mad. I'll be like,
you know what? We weren't even that mad. Like during that
Yeah,
period, I don't
fine.
remember there being like a huge Wenger
Nah, it was
out until the
bad.
last
I think
couple
that's
of
the
he
years.
was
problem.
bad.
I
He
was
was
Oh
mad.
my
bad.
I was
God.
mad.
That was
No,
pretty
like
everywhere.
not
You didn't see
like
me in
I
school.
see it
12,
different.
13.
In
No, I
school,
wasn't
brother,
watching
I
you in
hated
school.
it, bruv.
We need to do the rest of the Super Chat before we finish this. Kevin coming again and saying managerial changes, not managers. Okay. So you had not a lot of managerial changes. Okay. Thank you for clarifying. But I explained to you, I think that because you kept a manager a long time without being successful. So that makes it more in the same. This is the other argument.
Insane? Sorry, did you just say that it was insane? It's
Who's
just
insane?
differences in clubs. Didn't you say insane for,
I
for
said
not
that's what
sacking
he's
Wenger?
saying.
Oh, okay.
For me, that would be insane. For me.
Yeah.
Anyway,
It's just differences.
it's just differences. Yeah, but standards is called. Warren Grant, it's literally called standards. By the way, Martin, and that's
Yeah, I
not
have no standards.
that's
I have a
not
problem
all
with the
that-
club. No,
Martin,
that's it.
that's not a dig, right? That's not a dig. Okay, but it's very simple. If you sit here and tell me that 13 years without winning the league title or the Champions League and you weren't upset about it, that means you didn't expect it. That means If it came, it was all right, but you were just happy with where you are.
I don't think
That's
I
what I'm
blame Wenger for that
understanding.
position.
Unless you
I
can
just don't
explain
think
it
it was the
better.
manager's fault. I don't think it was the manager's fault. We were selling our best players and we were paying for a stadium. And I think everyone gave him a fair amount of credit, like a lot of
All right.
leeway. And it got toxic before he left. He should have left after he won his first FA Cup after the drought there. He should have left on a high note.
Probably. Anyway,
I think this one's for me.
Warren is saying, it is crazy. I get called toxic and negative or a fake fan for views like what I posted. But how is it negative to demand better for the club? There is such thing as toxic positivity too. That's for you.
No one
Can I
called you
respond?
toxic and negative, Warren.
Can I respond?
No,
Warren,
it's what it means, guys. It's what it means.
Okay.
Because let me just clarify, because literally Nemi Party said that it's because of fans that put too much pressure on the club. The club isn't in the right place. That's what you're saying.
okay, Warren, let me respond to you, brother. And I understand where you're coming from. We all demand better for the club. We all want better. I don't know about demand, but we want better for the club. But it has to be realistic. We're not Manchester City that would throw all the money in there. If we had that situation with Pep coming in, and now they're getting charged, by the way, so that event, they might get relegated next season. So that probably didn't work out. But we are not. We have to be realistic. What is it based off of? If we're making demands, there has to be. It's like hiring someone fresh out of college and expect him to do a managerial position and excel to drive the company to great heights. It's possible, but it's not just realistic. And that's all we're asking for. There has to be a basis. You have to hire somebody who has done it, who has a track record. And this is just a figure of speech. You have to hire somebody who has a track record for that to happen. Arsenal, we don't have that track record for you to be demanding all these high and mighty things. We can want it, we can hope to achieve it, and then when we get there, yes, put that pressure on everybody. But we haven't won the Champions League ever. Like this is our biggest problem in life.
I need to finish the rest of the super chat.
Yeah, go on.
I think the difference is that people are just happy with the journey, and just some people want success. Price is saying Klopp wins the league in his fourth year, full season, not ninth, and in third year he wins the Champions League. Even he won the Champions League before Pep did it in England. That's for the people that compare Klopp to Pep and to Arteta. Well, there is a difference, to be honest. Arteta is a new manager. Klopp won the league twice with Dortmund, taking them from 8th, I think, in 2008, and then winning the league, I think, in 2011 and 12. So it's different. But thank you so much. Rev, Kankumo is saying, I have to add, this idea that we failed last season is disingenuous. We have seen City make crazy runs, but yes, we failed to our first go with young guns.
I mean, it ain't a failure. It doesn't mean it's not a failure. I don't care. It's a failure. Like, what do you mean? If you do a test one time, if I go to do a test and I fail the first time, and that's not a foul because it was my first attempt at the test. No, mate, you still failed. Like, this is when we say, you say about being realistic and everything. This thought process isn't realistic to say because we're young, because it's our first time, it weren't a failure. That isn't realistic.
Liverpool paint their seasons where they didn't win versus Pep as failures?
Yeah, but
I don't remember anyone really focusing on.
Oh yeah.
Yes, when they didn't win to City.
100%. We tell them,
When?
not only mocking them, we tell Liverpool, you failed to get over the line. For many, how are you allowing Pep to win 5
I just remember this whole City pool. Wow, it's such a great rivalry. They're going toe to toe. I don't remember.
Did you watch the video I did last time or no? It's on my channel.
Last time when? Are you talking the last 2 years or?
No. Like just 2 days ago. That proves that you don't watch my channel. You're a panel, you're a member here, but
no, I have to switch off mentally sometimes. You put out too much content, you know.
Oh, go ahead.
But like, I think that it's just a matter of how you want to look at it. Do you want to take the positives, or do you just want to beat everyone? Say you're a failure, you're never going to win. Get out of here. Like it's just a.
No one said you're never going to win. No one said that.
No, but like that's the extremes of like
Fromis Gunner. Have a blessed week, panel and chat. I appreciate the super chat. I appreciate
you too.
Big up.
Big up for the support. Yusuf's rubber band is saying we all have the same goal. We all want the club success. Opinions are just different. I love it, but apparently Martin is okay with going 14 years without winning.
No, I don't want success. Actually, I would rather not win.
We're all
the
okay.
title.
We all. I'm not an Arsenal fan, but I want success for my club. But Martin is all right with 14 years. He's enjoying the process.
I'm just toxic.
You're very positive, toxic positivity. You're the definition of it.
I don't know.
I don't know if it's because I've watched AC Milan lift Champions Leagues and stuff that I actually like deep it with Arsenal, and I feel like Arsenal fans that haven't watched the team that they love win the Champions League, you don't deep it, you don't understand. That's why.
So is the problem that fans then that they don't support another club that's more successful?
No, it's not that. It's that the fans
stuff.
It's that fans want to call themselves Arsenal fans want to call themselves a huge club, but then they don't use huge mentality for their club themselves. Like what you said, we're a massive club, but then you say it's all right for 13 years.
I didn't say we were a massive club. I'm not one of these people that are out here bigging up all our players saying we're the best in the world. I said that we are. What?
Saad said we are a giant club.
Oh.
Yeah, in terms of fan base,
No, but like,
fan base wise.
Yeah, but Sads don't accept. The one thing is he don't accept.
Sorry.
13 years.
Hold
on a minute.
Martin. Now you're saying that you aren't that massive, so you're all right.
We haven't ever won a Champions League. How can we be one of the biggest clubs in world football? Look, my other club is Sydney FC, and Sydney FC they never won a Champions League either. So maybe that's the problem. I just don't have high enough standards. But people that come half Real Madrid, half Arsenal, and then bring their Real Madrid standards to this club, it doesn't make any sense. Or AC Milan or Inter Milan
That's not
or
what
whatever.
I'm saying, by the way. I'm not.
But you just said that it was interesting.
No.
You have a different perspective.
Arsenal fans can't call us a huge club and then be happy with 13 years no league, no success in 13 years or 20 years no league, however many years our existence no Champions League. You can't have both. Like you can't have both. I say we're a big club. I say we're a massive club. That's why I expect us to be going to do that.
Sean is saying the guy in the top left has been dropping gym after gym. He's not calling for the manager, but keeping it real about the expectations of the club.
Is that you on another account, Giuseppe, or what?
Big up Sean for supporting. To be honest, when we dug deep in this, Nemi said it that the expectations are high, and Martin said it that the expectations are unreal. And that actually is the problem with some Arsenal fan base, is that some of the Arsenal fan base have higher expectations than what the club actually is.
What about you as an Inter fan? How do you feel about this in terms of massiveness? When I say Arsenal is a massive club, I think about anywhere we go in the world, there are thousands of Arsenal fans. If you go to Nigeria, where I'm from, it's ridiculous the amount of fans we have. If you come to the US, it's ridiculous the amount of fans we have. But when you say when other people say massive, maybe they mean Real Madrid level. We're not. Real Madrid is massive in all fronts.
It is how I measure how the club is big or not. It's not by fan base.
Exactly. How do you feel about it?
I will explain why, Sad. Because the fan base, for example, guys, I'm an Inter fan, and just give you, but I watch Premier League. I don't watch Serie A. I only watch Inter and only the big games that affect the league title, right? I watch the Premier League. So having a big fan base is not due to club success. It's due to certain things that happen. A player also English. I speak English and Arabic only. So there is no point of me doing a podcast about Inter in Italian because I don't speak Italian. I actually was linked with some Italian guys to do podcast, and I don't speak Italian. They do their channel, Vox and Box. They do their channel is in Italian. I just don't, And I have another channel that does Inter content, and there is no fan base for the Italian because they speak Italian. For the French league, the same. For Spanish clubs, Real Madrid and Barcelona, there's a whole continent down there south of us that speak Spanish. They all support Real Madrid and Barcelona. So that's a massive fan base as well. So if you're asking me the big clubs, I'm going to tell you what I call a big club. A big club is a successful club internationally and locally from the big four leagues: Serie A, Bundesliga, right? La Liga, and the Premier League. Any club like Bayern Munich, Inter, AC Milan, Juventus, Arsenal, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Manchester United, Liverpool, Chelsea, Manchester City. These were I call big clubs, right? But they differ. I'm not going to say I am on the same level as Real Madrid or Barcelona, for example. Milan have won 7 Champions League. Inter, we have won only 3, but we have won a treble. You know what I mean? And we're about to win more league titles than them. My point about Arsenal is, where do you put yourself? Do you put yourself after 20 years as a club that must win every other year or must win every 3-4 years? Can Arsenal fans accept having 14 years without a league title? Can an Inter fan accept this? Inter fans were going mad between 2010 and when we won the league in 2020. We were sacking managers like pawns on a chessboard. I'm serious. We were sacking managers like pawns. And Inter fans were sacked. 6 games, Frank de Boer. He lost 4, he got sacked. And the fans were clapping. Gasperini, 8 games, if I don't remember, or 12 games, lost 6, sacked. First year, sacked. Get out of the club. You're not winning us the league. You're not progressing, right? Done. It's over. That's how Inter manage it, right? If Juventus get Allegri, by the way, if he doesn't win the league, they are asking for his head. Allegri, who won them 5 league titles or 6, they're asking for. Allegri won them 6 league titles, and he's keeping them in the Champions League positions. They want him sacked, Juventus, right? 2 Champions Leagues only,
Bro. Mo, just on the point that I made, yeah, that we're or the thing that I said that we're a massive
deviate,
club.
I want to do the
No.
super chats first.
No, I'm just going off of the massive club thing. Just to clarify, the thing that I said about we are a massive club, I said in England, yeah. European wise, we're not a big club in Europe because we haven't won, we haven't gotten over that. We may have won a European Cup Winners' Cup, and we might have won the Interfairs Cup, which at their time were big cups. Okay, yeah, you can use that, but the actual Champions League, we haven't won that, or the European Cup, as it was known, we haven't won that. Do you know what I mean? So in England, we are a massive club. Let's not forget that in England, we have 13 league titles. Let's not forget that we have the most FA Cups. Let's not forget that we've done 3-peats. We have done 3-peats.
Let's not forget that you have
We've done doubles.
I think Arsenal have the biggest fan base in England. Am I wrong?
No. Manchester United.
Manchester United are the biggest fan base.
Manchester United have one of the biggest fan bases in the world.
Yeah,
They
okay.
compete.
When I started watching Arsenal,
I thought because
we were
London and the population of London. Okay, I
When I
think
started
we gotta
watching-
end this because the game is about to start in 3 minutes.
Can I finish this then? Mo? When I started watching, we were the underdogs. We were the pesky people that were stopping Man United from winning 10 leagues in a row. We weren't expected. We never were the most rich. And then everyone came and bought our players, and we decided to build a stadium at the worst possible time.
Yeah,
But we are underdogs by nature.
Okay, Jerome is saying at the end of the day, winning is the end game. Agree. When, right? When. Carlito is saying January 2023, Arsenal wasn't attractive enough to get a good center back to sit behind Saliba. We only became attractive in the summer gone. Very good point. I never thought about it like this, Carlito. Very, very good point. An absolutely fantastic super chat to actually correct what I said. Absolutely fun. Great. Rev is saying, my point is City are a monster, though, Giuseppe. Yeah, but they were 7 points behind you, Rev. So
Yeah.
They had a big
you can look at it
powerhouse.
both ways. You can look at it. The fastest guy caught you because he started like actually living up to his potential. But yeah, I get what you're saying, Rev. Comdine is saying, no, it cannot happen again. But there is context to what happened. Wenger had to sell 1 or 2 stars every season, and we were always 1 or 2 players short. Very, very, yeah, not bad. I get what you're saying, but it cannot stay that long, guys. We cannot just give excuses, guys. It's. I think now you guys have.
Well,
tried
can I do
to
a quick question with you?
Can I finish the
Would you
last thing and then you
Well,
ask
it's
the question?
related.
Okay.
Okay.
Go ahead.
Would you sack Ten Hag right now?
Yeah, 100%. I said
Would you
second
sack-
half.
Would you sack Poch?
Yes
Would you sack Ange?
and no.
Okay, so Ange is showing some sign of potential, right? Like
Yes.
progress.
Yes.
Okay, so I think that's the only way we can go. Like, as
But that's
fans.
why
Like,
I said I liked what Arteta did at Arsenal, Martin. I think I think he built a
Yeah,
squad
no,
that everybody,
I-
by the way, if Arteta was at my club and him building a squad like this, I'll be happy. But I would say, okay, now what?
you'd be
Then what
happy.
is-
That's
now
it, that's
now
important.
what?
Let's
Now
be
what?
happy.
That's what I would ask. Banter in the Dio, big up Dio. So any other team that has not won a European Cup is not a massive club like PSG. Yeah.
No, they're not massive at all.
They're not.
In Europe, in
Big up
Europe,
there.
in Europe, in Europe, in
But
Europe.
I want to say the last thing about
in
this.
Europe.
Yeah, that's what
They may
Can
be.
I
They may
say?
be
Can I say
massive
the
in
last
league.
thing? Can I say one thing, please? Can I say one thing? Can I say the last thing about that? How big Arsenal fan base around the world. This is what people don't realize. It puts pressure on Arsenal. People never realize that. How massive Arsenal in terms of fan base around Nigeria, in Africa, in America, is what puts pressure on us. But anyway, this has been absolutely one of the best shows.
Mo, can I say one thing quick before we go?
Oh,
One yes
yes,
or no question to
yes.
Nemi and that.
There you
So
are.
yeah, here it is. Yeah. So what I'm going off what you guys have said. So last season,
Yes or no question. This is it.
Yeah. So you say it was a failure. It wasn't a failure last season because Saliba, the injuries and that, and it was our first time. So if Liverpool win the league this season and we don't, and we've had a season where we competed already, yeah, and Liverpool have all the injuries that they've had this season, if we don't win and Liverpool do, is this season a failure?
We'll win the league this season, bro.
Just answer
That's
the
not the question.
Just answer the question.
That's not the question.
I don't know.
Yes.
Does it Liverpool the only team with
The
Nemi said-
silence
Nemi
says it
said-
all.
Nemi's
And
a
guys,
joke. Man said
from
we're gonna
here-
win the league this season.
From here, thank you so much, everybody. Thank you, everybody. Thank you,
Good
everybody
question,
that tuned
good
in. This was
question.
absolutely an amazing and a fantastic debate. And I hope you guys enjoyed it. And I hope that you learned something from this, that the difference in opinion doesn't make us clowns. I hope that you agreed that.
Mhm.
And also soon, I'm dropping merch on the channel. It will be something I don't
there you
expect.
are.
A merch on that channel. I
Who's
started
your
Daddy.
daddy?
I started it yesterday.
Can
So
I
keep an eye on
fucking
that channel.
talk?
So, guys, just thank you,
Thanks for
everybody.
having me, man. First time here. It's
Nemi,
been a blessing.
absolutely
Thanks, guys.
fantastic. But before we go on, this will take you to Staffy TV. I want to just tell you something, guys. Right? The football corner is in the description. You have to go and subscribe to Saad. Great content. And I'm not sure if Giuseppe is
back.
doing.
I'm back. I'm starting up again. I've obviously been going through a few bits. So yeah.
Yes. Appreciate you guys. Thank you, everybody that tuned in. Hit that like button before you go. And we are out of here, people.
Peace, guys. Love.
Peace.